They're doing CoCoTALK.
We're doing After Dark. Are we live yet? Or are we?
I just pressed the button, Frank. So we're gonna go.
Just press the button. See, you missed a memorable moment there. The Jim Brown walk on.
I really liked the internet's as seen on the internet. What had you refer to him as the internet's Grant Leighty, or?
I should have just started calling him a different name every time, like Grant Leighty, Greg Leighty, Greg Grant. I thought about that later, but oh well.
You need to try Gretna next.
Yeah.
Well, what time is it? What time is it over there now?
Oh, what time is it in Florida, Stevie?
9:30. It's 9:34-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing the trivia contest right now here in the other room.
They should be winding things up in a couple hours. I think it's 11:30 local time.
Asking the hard-hitting questions like, what's the number to 911?
Tandy Radio Shack when the TRS-80 was first released. Correct.
Oh yeah, I played that game.
Yeah. Oh, Nick's neighbor's here, you know.
Yeah.
What was the name of the comic book that was inspired by Tandy Computers?
Oh, the TRS-80 Whiz Kids. I know that. Come on.
Tandy Whiz Kids. Sold without dedicated sound hardware, how did the TRS-80 produce sound?
Oh, you plugged it into your serial port and it came out of a speaker.
Correct. Or
turned on your AM radio.
Yeah, we're going live, so I'm going to go ahead and share this out on a few groups. What's the link to join us on Zoom if anybody wants to join us? All right, so we're live.
We're live on YouTube.
Which Tandy computer had the gimme chip?
Gimme chip.
Oh, that was the Model 1. That was a Model 1L for luggable, right?
Memory options. Correct. Which TRS-80 computers had an MC68000 chip?
An MC60. Oh, that's the Model 16. Yeah, 16 added that for. You see, Nick and I said it at the same time.
What were their speeds in megahertz? Those three machines.
How come I can't share this video?
You don't need anybody.
Correct.
Took calls. You've got your sound.
What major electronics company was responsible for the design of the color?
Of the what?
Motorola.
Oh, that's the wrong video. I'm trying to find. I'm looking at what I thought was the live video, and it wasn't showing up.
Design of the color computer.
What two major electronics companies provided video subsystems for the Model 2?
Crickets.
Correct.
And then we got Curtis Boyle chiming in now too.
Could run on the Tandy 6000. 3 operating systems that could run on the 6000.
I love the clicking sound that they got going on.
Well, yes, it was successful. Some other operating systems were LS-DOS, DOS plus 2. What was the baud speed of the cassette interface on the color computer?
1500?
Correct.
What did he say?
Yeah.
Who started the Rainbow magazine?
Ronnie Ford. Okay.
I'm getting double Australian answers now.
Programming for the TRS-80 and whose initials are WBJ. Yeah. Correct. What Unix-like operating system was Tandy originally going to release as their first multi-user?
Xenix.
Correct. Before Xenix. Well, they actually shipped the only thing that you could do out of the country.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, someone has to ask.
Very good.
So there was a fair number of CoCo people at the fest as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, we had a good mix. Yeah, there was a lot of CoCo. There was a lot of people that weren't familiar with the CoCo, so that was interesting.
Jason, did you see the text I left you?
What's that? You guys just streaming?
Did you see the question I asked you?
Not yet. No, just here and there. That's who we were streaming all weekend. And no, not as far as I know.
Well, I asked you if you saw any expansion interfaces for Model 1 for sale.
I didn't, although I didn't look that closely. I didn't see anything that I would recognize as that, but I'm not really familiar with that particular line.
Little box with a ribbon cable.
If you look at a Model 1, it has something under the monitor. That's the thing.
Well,
expansion interface.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Most of that stuff's over this way.
What put Crash in the name Crash 80?
Well, this is the one. This is the thing I showed earlier that comes with the Sun filing cabinet.
That's a big multi-pack.
8-slot MPI.
That one's more like 32.
Oh, there's Donut Dilemma again.
No expansion.
Not on that one.
No expansion there.
That's
What's the one on the left?
Is that the 6309 exclusive Donut Dilemma that requires 2 gigabytes of RAM? And
it could be. This is the.
So Nick, did Donut Dilemma had to run in 16K?
Yeah, 16. Press the number 1 key. There you go.
One for one.
Hey, that one's been cracked. That's not level 1.
I pressed the
That's
number 1.
level 4.
Who would crack your software, Nick?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Possible. Okay, write his name down. I'll send the cops out.
Cease and desist.
Oh,
I have a cease and desist from the author on this.
If you don't believe me, I'll put them on speakerphone.
Cue the siren.
Send the female body inspectors.
Oh, I don't have the sound shared for you guys to hear it, but yeah.
That's why.
Here you go, Jason. I'll cue the sirens for you.
There we go. There we go.
What's that game there on that other computer?
This is Mac DOS 6.
I've never heard of that one.
I don't think that's a game.
I think it's a lot better than Max DOS 5. I'm still waiting on OS 10 myself.
10.
So yeah.
What is that? Computer Tandy should have built? Lobo Systems?
Yeah, it's a clone.
Oh, okay.
Lobo, like Sheriff Lobo.
Yep. Goleta, California.
I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Lobo for the Yobos.
Yeah.
So we actually live, or am I just doing this?
No,
No, there's an expansion.
Oh, what's this? Is this it?
Yep.
That's it.
Isn't that what the my's and the me's are and everything else though too?
Oh, there we go.
32K.
Yeah. You asked for it. I just happened to stumble across one. The
Grounded.
expansion interface.
Is that for sale or is that part of somebody's setup?
Looks like the guy who's
this is I believe that's for sale, isn't it?
That's the
okay.
Dino.
Yep. It's for sale. Everything on this table is for sale.
All right, we'll put David on that table.
Kept the monitor that's on
or how about Greg? Put Grant on there so we can get rid of him, sell him off to a good family.
I don't know where Grant is. I haven't seen him for a while. Maybe he went up to his room. I haven't seen him. Oh, we got
Has anyone? Oh yeah, what's that? A Model 2? And
That's a Model 2.
Model 2
Yeah.
disk system. This one doesn't come with its own filing cabinet, though.
That's the external one.
That's got the exclusive gravity mount where it actually just attaches itself to the floor via gravity.
Gravity mount.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Got the stack of the Model 2000s there again.
And their monitors.
any 8-inch floppies for sale?
The actual floppies for the 2000?
The floppy, no, the floppy drives, I mean.
Those would be 8-inch for the Model 2.
Yeah. I've got a Model 2, but the floppy drive is dead.
Oh, you want to try to send one back with your neighbor?
So, hey, yeah, there's an idea.
I haven't seen any floppy drives that big. No. What else we got here?
That's a lot of Tandy 2000s in one place.
It is.
Michael Brand is watching us on Facebook.
2000s allowed by law.
Yes.
And
cannot exceed the legal limit.
They weren't totally IBM compatible. They were MS-DOS compatible, weren't they?
Model 2s? No, they were.
The Tandy 2000. The Tandy 2000 was the only production computer with an 80186 processor, and had a very custom version of MS-DOS for it.
Yeah, so it ran MS-DOS friendly applications, but anything that hit the original IBM hardware didn't work.
And supposedly Steve York made a version of Gana Buana for that machine, which would be the only x86 version of the game. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I think it had Flight Simulator.
There's
and
an OS9 there on the shelf.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, pick it up for you next.
I think we're getting some infinite sound looping now.
It's infinitely infinite.
Yeah.
Was there any Model 2000 keyboards there?
There probably is.
Not that I saw. Oh, there you go. There's your neighbor.
There he is.
Hey, Nick, how you going?
G'day. How are you?
2 years in a row.
I gave a demo of your CoCo Max interface before.
I said he gave it in your demo of your CoCo Max interface before.
So when get the chance, they can plug it in and give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
I haven't got a CoCo with me, but that one there's got all the requirements to run the
CoCo Max
system. So when they give it a shot.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
Good. And there's Jim Brain.
He's watching us.
Look at that. See, look at that. That may have been our echo. I don't know.
Hey, ask Jim if he's got any cookies for sale today.
I do not. My daughter is not here.
Oh, darn.
I know. There.
I was disappointed because when I looked at the chart, I said, "Oh, I'm right next to Jim Brain. I'll be right by the cookies."
Hey, what's that game there?
Yeah, really.
I've never heard of this one. It's very obscure and very Australian.
It looks pretty crap.
Yeah.
I like checkerboarding. Yeah.
Look at that checkerboarding. Yeah.
Somebody
That's so low res.
Overcompensate. All that flash and glitz.
And the one on the left is Rad Warrior, is it?
Yeah, we got Rad Warrior over here. I think this is Eric's setup. I think kind of hard to tell where the tables end here. Maybe I don't know who that is. But, there it is. Yep. Rad Warrior and
there's
the
plotter.
Ooh, Orchestra 90.
Ooh,
real floppy.
Yeah, real FD501.
Yeah, it sounds like Eric. He says he prefers real floppies.
And I saw these. These sold in the auction for like $20.
Tim Tams.
Yeah,
good.
$20.
They from Australia?
They taste good.
Yeah. Paul Fiscarelli, I think, bought them for $20 in the auction. So
You can't put them in your pocket.
Don't just have those in the US.
no, I've never heard of them.
Oh, they must be an Australian thing, is it? I didn't know that.
What's that?
They sell them
The
here.
Tim Tams.
Tim Tam.
Never heard of it.
Never found 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. They sold for $20 in the auction today.
They're
Gee,
chocolate
Rick
covered
could let me
wafer.
know. Could have got to one for $1.
They're
Yeah,
like
I think
$3
there's there might be a business thing there, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah. We got the banners. Oh, my banner has fallen down again. That's
We're not surprised.
we're not surprised at all. It's just I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. Let's go ahead and bypass that there. But we got some laser disc playing there. I don't want to stay away from
NSX.
the stereo.
Hey, there's a Tandy 1000 keyboard.
It is.
There's one on the right as well.
That's an IBM
It's
Model
IBM.
M.
That's a
Oh,
Type
that's
M,
an
yeah.
IBM one, yeah.
How much do they want it for it?
Doesn't say, and the owner doesn't appear to be here at the moment.
Oh, it's
Good,
free.
just take it.
Those go for a pretty bit.
Yeah,
Rescue it.
rescue it. Yeah, I don't have my handy dandy chart here again. I walked down the floor without my handy dandy chart to even know whose table that is.
Hey, is that a Commodore 64 under the table?
I don't.
Box for one.
There's a Commodore. Oh, yeah. There's one. Good eye. There's one in a box here.
Yep, a couple Apple monitors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's that. Well, then there's two different boxes. A 64C.
That's
The white
new
one and the old.
Yeah, the 64C is the flat one that looks like the Commodore 128.
The ones I have look like this one here. This is
Yeah, the original.
Bread bin.
The bread box.
Yep.
the bread box.
So the monitor on the right there is an Apple II monitor. It's called the Monitor 2. It's monochrome tilt screen.
Yeah, I seem to remember some of those from school.
Yes, they were pretty much exclusively sold to schools with Apple IIs. So
Okay.
Mostly see that. Oh, there's an Apple II.
Yeah,
back.
just behind it.
Yep. Straight behind it. It's like a platinum
Right.
2.
Oh, although that's under the table. That's all the way back behind the
Back
table.
there, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
There it is.
I'm not on the call with her. I have
So
to
what
walk
you're
over
saying
there.
is they're
Can I
selling
walk over
stuff
there and
under
cut
the
it over
table.
Well, that's not under the table. That's actually behind the table.
There's a 64 on its side there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the other monitor looks like a Macintosh RGB monitor or the Apple II GS RGB monitor.
The CoCo 2 box.
Yeah, in the
I
box.
think it's a TRS City expansion module sitting there on its side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Mike Brandt spotted a Mac Cube. Is that out there too? A Mac
Yeah.
Cube?
Right to the right of the right there.
Right there it is.
Right there, yeah.
4 cube.
That's Apple Mac Cube, unknown, $150. And that's
It's like a
not much of a
G4
cube, really. It comes complete with clear tape.
Now that's been converted to a floor heater.
Right. So, yeah, it's a little less cubish there. But I don't know whose table this is. I should run back over to my.
Are they
Right
records?
next to Eric. No, I think it's
Other laser discs.
Ah, laser disc.
Where is
That's-
my guy? Let's see if I can find my
Eric.
guy.
That's Eric. That's
Yep.
Eric
Is it
Canales' table.
Yep.
That's got
And
the
see, we
laser
got the
discs.
CoCo version of Donut Dilemma running over here.
Yep.
Got the TRS-81 run. Had to boot that one up.
Yeah.
There's a nice banner there on the floor.
Yeah, that's my banner on the floor. It seems to like it there, so I'm just going to leave it there right now. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, see, we got that nice display here.
Biggest name in little computers. I like that.
Yeah. And this is the largest Dino Wars poster allowed by law.
Yeah, I love that.
It'd probably be the largest one in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. Give us a roar.
Give us a roar, Jason.
I'm not doing that. Actually, that table on the end there where the cube, that's table 7. Wait, make sure I'm oriented right here. Wait a minute. Nope.
Hey, Scott Carter is here. Hello, Scott Carter.
It's table 1, so that is Eric. Okay.
Is that an actual screen print? And then
I am not sure about the creation of that artwork. It's just.
Hold on, Megan wants to sing the theme song. Go ahead, Megan. You have the floor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
CoCoTALK after dark. I'm sick. I sound like a duck.
All right. Was that awesome or was that awesome?
It was.
Amazing.
No, I can't. Can't figure out how to get the screen back. All right.
Uh-oh.
There we
Always
go.
the last place you look.
Yeah, we're back.
Those are laser discs. That is.
Yeah.
Eric Canales. That's his table there, and
it would seem like Megan has a lot of extra energy.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's tables 1 and.
He's got war games on Laserdisc.
Yeah, it's he most certainly does.
We were watching it earlier.
Oh, were we?
Mike Brandt says he wants that.
What?
The War Games Laserdisc.
Okay, I'll lose you.
It's got so many there. It's probably got some classic other movies there.
Yeah, did we lose your audio?
I was just trying to avoid a loop there with Jim Brain when I came through there. Oh, he's on mute. Good. Okay. Mike Brandt wants War Games on Laserdisc. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's the.
Come to Tandy Assembly next year. 10 bucks.
Paul Fiscarelli's Polly Walnuts right there.
Yeah.
Does he want it for 10 bucks?
Does he want it for 10 bucks? I don't know who's going to ship it to him.
Come next year, right?
Polly Bag of Donuts.
Polly Bag of Donuts. I thought that was Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah, it could be.
Joey Bag of Donuts. That's at Moe's.
So, yes or no?
I like
I'm
Eric.
not getting an answer, so.
I don't know. Michael Brandt, $10. Final answer.
CoCoTALK has sold most of the stuff on the floor there, haven't we?
Okay, Michael says he'll get with Eric later if nobody buys it.
Okay. He'll get with you later if no one buys it, Eric.
Will an expansion interface fit in a suitcase?
I guess it depends on how big your suitcase is.
Yeah.
I was looking into the Tim Tams that are made by Arnott's, which is an Australian brand.
Yeah,
Arnott's
it
is actually owned by the Campbell Soup Company.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because they also own another brand called Pepperidge Farms, and so they import them to the U.S. and sell them to Pepperidge Farms.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. So are they called something else in the U.S. under the Pepperidge Farms name?
Yeah, they sell them here as our Australia's favorite cookie.
Oh, interesting. So I don't see Paul at the moment to break that. Oh, I think he's walking out of the room there to break that news to him that he just bought $20 cookies that he could have bought here under a different.
Hey, it's all about supporting the show, right? The auction goes to all for a good cause. Right?
What's in those tubs?
Oh, software.
We got
missile attack.
Star Quest.
Yeah. Star Patrol. I'm guessing this is all.
Ooh, personal finance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the hot title. Personal finance.
They got script set.
Oh, color script set. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Color Scripted is my least favorite ROM pack for the CoCo. Star Quest.
Hey, Chad Cunnington is back, and he says greetings from the future. Welcome back,
Anybody ever
Chad.
seen a what's it called? A Tandy Sensation? Is that right?
That's it right there.
That's the multimedia system?
Yeah, that is the last one, right?
Yeah.
It says it's the last one that was ever made, or the last type of unit that was ever made.
Mm.
There you go.
$1,400.
Yes, we take PayPal.
I had a case of Tandy Sensation once, but there was a vaccine for that.
Yeah.
It cleared up right away.
If you're experiencing Tandy Sensation for more than 4 hours, please seek your physician.
Well, if you buy a lot for real cheap and you bring it home, you will have that.
Tandy Sensation? Yeah. Dino Wars. Roar.
Roar, yeah, that's not it. I don't know where Grant is. Maybe Grant went to bed. I haven't seen him since.
No, I'm right here. I had to go.
There he is.
I had to take a
Hey,
bridge.
I'm over here at the CoCo Man table trying to buy stuff. The guy's not here though. So I'm thinking,
it's all free. It's all free. It's not worth anything anyway.
Well,
so.
good, because I was really wanting to not have to pay for these, so I'll just go ahead and take them off the table. Crazy guy. Get over here and man your table.
This is Inception. Look at this crap. We got CoCo Man pointing at Retro Man.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
Yes.
Is that 2-layer graphics?
2 layers.
Just 2 layers of icing.
Oh no, it's 2 screens. Okay.
Because he's got his thingamabob here.
The Wallaby cable.
Wallaby.
See?
I'm gonna stick with the theme of Australian sounding name.
Yeah.
The Wallaby. Got it.
Yeah, the Y's capitalized. They even got a little bit of paperwork there. Wallaby.
Does the Wallaby cable come with instructions? I mean, how do you use it here now?
There is a YouTube video.
Okay.
There's actually a 12-part YouTube series.
Yes. It's called Wallaby Forever.
Wallaby Y.
Hey, there's Greg. What's going on, Greg?
Grant picked this up at the auction.
That's an Australian one.
What is
right,
that?
He picked it up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Andy living in Australia. That's Grant. He picked that up at the auction. I never heard of it.
Software.
Yeah, that's just kind of hanging out there.
Too bad you guys aren't here.
Yeah. Well,
We can make fun of you in person.
we saved a lot of money having you bring the show to us.
We're on electronic impulse.
This person of CoCoTALK brought to you by Shaky Vision.
Yes, I'm actually experiencing some Tandy sensations right now. So.
Well, if you experience Tandy
Who's
sensations
that?
longer than 4 hours,
Is
contact
that John Strong?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, John's here.
John's
Hey,
Hey,
John Strong.
Hi, John.
Yes.
Hey, welcome, people. We're Tandy Assembly. We're at CoCoTALK After Dark.
Yay!
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
Hey, David Ladd's floppy just became a hard disk.
Stevie, that's just so wrong. But it's waiting for you.
There's several copies of Stuart Chaffee on YouTube now. So.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 So he's on there. There's a couple people did. So it's out there.
It's out there.
CoCoTALK After Dark. Have a great night, and everybody out there watching.
Thank you, John Strong.
Thank you.
What game's he playing?
That's the Tandy Vision. It's better known as Sent from My Phone.
Sent from my phone.
Oh, hey, Paul. What's up? What are you up to? You're on CoCoTALK After Dark. You want to say anything?
Who's at the bar?
Drunk and saucy. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
They're having their own After Dark.
Well, Oh my! Everybody's getting drunk.
People are
I
getting
get my Jack and Coke a little bit.
I always find that Ruffles laugh.
Hey, Chad says you guys should do a Tandy Assembly in Australia.
Yeah. Hey, he's got the
Hey,
wrong
Jason.
colours there.
Jason, everybody's at the bar getting drunk and soused. We can make fun of Stevie.
Oh, there he is.
Or at least make fun of him. Blame the alcohol.
Wouldn't it be Tandy Assembly?
Oh,
Yeah, we
Christ.
found what's the new name we have for Stevie now? Stacy? Or Stephanie? Stephanie.
Stephanie Stroh?
Yep.
Don't quit till you get
is
your day
Richard
job.
Just destroyed a brand new CoCo.
Does that mean Stevie gets to wear drag again?
So how many upgrades has he done today?
How many upgrades, Richard? Oh, lucky 7.
Did he have to work during an auction again?
Did you work during the auction again?
Look at him work his magic.
I worked for the auction.
Wait, was that Richard and...
Yeah, Richard's...
Is that a
There's Tony Pedraza.
upgrade?
Hey, Tony.
That's Tony Soprano right there.
Hi, Tony.
Forget about it.
Hi, Richard.
Make that solder sucker sing.
Whose head are we looking at the back of? Grant, are you showing the back end of Jason's head?
Yeah. It's like the live stream of the live stream.
Ah, okay. Just don't cross the streams.
Right. Don't do that.
See Jim Brain over there.
Why not? It just gets a little messy.
Yeah, I'm going over air because I don't see that coming back on Zoom. I just see Stevie. So.
I don't know who you're maximized on, but
I'm watching Jason's.
Nice, Jim. Nice.
what did Jim do?
Give him bunny ears. Give Richard bunny ears.
Children.
Oh, other people.
I got the damn cat who needed water with me right now, so.
Should I call Richard right now?
Oh, there you go. Happy little trees. Happy white clouds.
There are no mistakes at Boyson Technology. We call them happy little accidents. So,
yeah, those are usually the happy little accidents with this stuff. It's usually when you have to repair traces.
Richard's certified to do that.
He most certainly is.
Has he brought back any CoCo 3s from the dead or CoCos?
Have you brought any CoCos back from the dead, Richard? No. Just upgrades.
Just CoCo lobotomies.
CoCo bottomies. That's
CoCo
funny.
bottomies, yeah. I like that. CoCo elective surgery.
Is it the smell of burning flesh that brings people to your table?
Richard's lobotomy services.
Burning hair. Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
I haven't smelled any burning hair or burning flesh, although I did smell a little the burnt PC board smell at one point today. But
All right. Jason Downs is here. He says it's great to be able to see Tandy Assembly without having to be there. All right. So.
yeah, why would you want to hang out with us?
I mean, because not everybody can make it, so it is a nice public service. There's Greg and Retro Innovations.
Looks like a bodyguard there for
running security.
Security.
Greg's bouncing service. Hey Jim, can you reach?
Bothering you?
Jim, can you reach over there and smack Greg in the back of the head for me?
We won't face him. It's Granite Leighty.
Frickin' Greg. Greg, you have any Diet Dr. Pepper while you're there with water?
All real Dr. Pepper here. All real Dr. Pepper.
Oh, come on. You know you like it watered down.
Hey, Bruce Moore is asking, is the event about the same size as the CoCo Fest event?
It's about the same size as CoCo Fest? Or?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the question. Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, it looks like they have fewer tables.
It looks like a bigger venue, though.
Yeah. About the same size, slightly
More
bigger
space
venue.
between tables.
What's that,
That's
Mark?
cool.
More space between tables.
There's a guy with a bag of cash in there. See that?
I guess so.
I think Jim's running something else other than computer sales there.
There's a lot of stuff under the table.
So,
Yeah.
so Jim, is there no brownies this time around?
No baked goods.
Ah.
No baked goods.
How about crackers?
Yeah, it looks like a whole room full of about 80 of them.
Don't worry, they're Ritz.
What's that box for? On the left.
Nice. LS
Down there. Yeah, what's that one?
Disc cartridge system interface kit for Tandy 2000.
Oh.
This cartridge. Must be a tape backup or something.
Could be.
I can't find my Tandy 2000 keyboard. See it sitting there? That is a Tandy 2000 keyboard.
Looks very similar to the Tandy 1000 keyboard.
Yeah, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's slightly different.
The pins are different than going in.
This was the one I showed earlier today that has the
yeah.
Has the cave.
It's got the vacant lot there.
It's a bat cave.
Hey, you can see the rat pedaling in there.
A cage.
Oh, is that the CoCo Flash menu there that we just saw on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it is there. And then there's all this. There's a lot of stuff over here.
Oh.
Looks like experimental electronics.
It looks like they're ready to repack.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on over here.
Well, that goes into this, goes into that.
Cartridge-based VGA adapter.
Oh, there you go.
So this is running off the cartridge board.
Oh, is this Peter Bartlett's thing?
Yeah, Peter Bartlett.
Okay. So he's made some more progress on that.
Model 1 unit, the Model 3 unit, and this is his new thing he's working on. So he's hoping to make a cartridge with Ethernet and VGA and IDE, I believe, ID drive.
Holy crap.
What, no sound chip?
You can talk to him about that.
What the part that makes the panini?
It's right there.
Oh, there it is. My mistake.
Check and see if the power supply is hot on the CoCo. Put your hand on it.
Put your hand.
Nice and warm.
Is it warm?
That means it's working.
The little power supply that could.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get this just generic PC case with Tandy on it.
Yeah, that bothers you, don't it? Anybody could buy that sticker.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if there's a part number on the back.
Hey, that's a thing to do.
I'll just.
That's a great idea.
We got somebody. Hey, whoever just joined us is i7 Obot. We're getting a little bit of sound feedback from you. So I don't know if you have headphones or if you could adjust your volume or something. But it's kind of
There's no radio Tandy part number back there. They're just like a generic PC case.
I'm just gonna mute it for right now.
Here's a scanner though.
You know what? I put my map down again, so I don't know. I keep sitting down my map. I would know whose spot this was if I had to.
Well, you're at the Tandy Assembly.
So what is the Tandy TDT-1? A TDT-1? What's the TDT-1? Tandy use them in the towers. I think it's data terminals. They didn't sell them to the public. They didn't what? Sell them to the public. They use those are from Tandy Towers in Fort Worth. Oh, so they were part of that. It was in the office space. Right. So you don't even know it wasn't sold to the public. Right. Oh, okay.
Show us.
So is it really a Tandy? Yeah, it's all Tandy branded. Really? Yeah. And some of them have Fort Worth. Tandy Data Terminal 1.
Tandy Data Terminal 1. You heard it here first.
Where?
That thing that looks like a generic.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that's
Data Terminal 1. What?
Most of them have probably a custom SKU. It was probably a custom SKU for their Fort Worth office, right? Cheap, whatever they needed to run the business.
I bought them from Bob Payne.
Lots of stuff from Bob Payne.
Yeah.
Bob Payne. Did that come from Bob Payne?
I think from Detroit. Big into the 2000s.
Bob used to be part of Tandy. Hey, Richard, what did you used to do? National Parks? Is that what you did? National Parks? Or Tandy, the service center that you worked at? Oh, you worked, okay.
But I started at Tandy.
Oh, okay. Because Bob Payne was he did National Parks. He was running part of National Parks, wasn't he? He was a dealer. Okay. Oh, okay. Bob had Bob got a whole bunch.
Yeah, he used to leave the big machine. And he had the leading software.
But Bob's getting out of it, right?
Yeah.
Now comes buying all his stuff.
What's Bob's full name?
Bob Payne. I don't know.
Bob Payne.
He's in North Atlanta. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. He got a big Tandy sign, Radio Shack sign. You have it? Yeah, Malcolm has it now.
In my garage. My wife says it was done.
Huh?
My wife says, no way that's coming out. I have it hanging.
I got it.
It's made by Tandy Sign Company.
Yeah, I know. He said he expected so they fit right in the front window.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that box?
What box are you referring to?
That one.
Underneath.
Underneath. Oh, that's a box for a Tandy 2000.
Oh, that. Yep.
Wow.
Quite rough, but it's there.
It's vintage.
Vintage, indeed. Vintage, yes.
Neat.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So this is Tandy Assembly After Dark.
After Dark.
Greg Grant.
CoCoTALK After Dark. CoCoTALK After Dark. CoCoTALK After Dark.
Hey, it looks as if they set up the that Pac-Man game for composite because the colors are wrong.
This is very well could be.
Yeah, because they're all wrong. Hit reset. Oh yeah. Oh, it starts up all right, but the title page is wrong.
Is this yours, Nick, that we're looking at?
Yeah, that's my one.
Yep.
Sure you plugged it in? Right at the fridge?
Composite. Wow.
There we go. What do we got? Color mode, composite. Yeah, just change the number 1.
There we go.
How do you spell RGB?
Here's David Ladd's monitor that doesn't work.
Yeah, this is David Ladd CMA that doesn't work.
I have to return it.
Yep. And yep. Richard is running a Wallaby cable with a CM8 and a switcheroo.
Jason or Bruce wants to know if there's lots of sales of new stuff there.
What was Bruce's question?
Is there lots of sales of new stuff? I don't think so.
I'm not seeing a lot of new stuff. So
Show us the SDC for the Model 4.
Model 4. I have no.
It's called a free something.
It's the one that
free something. Free
I don't know either.
My neighbor makes it. What's his
yeah?
name?
Oh, Ian.
Ian has one. Yeah.
No.
Free HD.
Oops.
That's it.
Yeah. Nope, he's down here.
And, Michael Brandt's also asking, were there any Tandy Assembly exclusives? So the Wallaby cable was an exclusive, right? I think Paul Fiscarelli's disc tool being shown to the public might be an exclusive. Anything else you can think of?
Not that I know of. The Wallaby was a Tandy Assembly premiere.
Premiere, yes.
Premiere, yeah.
Yeah. But,
you sell many?
I've sold a couple. But,
a lot of returns.
Oh, no. All warranties go to Richard Lorbieski. But, yeah, that's good stuff indeed. You'd have to ask Richard about boomerang sales. It's going okay. You know, for a second time out.
Is that a CoCo Crew sign over there?
Yeah.
Okie doke. Who do we have? We got Ron Delvaux. Do we have
Greg?
Yeah, we got Greg right there. Marco.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Neighbor Nick Marentes.
David Ladd.
David Ladd.
David Ladd's on 3 times right now.
Oh, triple David Ladd.
Yeah.
That's a little hard to believe that I'm on multiple times when there's only one of me.
Look at that.
You're showing up, David Ladd.
Maybe Greg wants to walk around a bit. I'm going to take a break.
Looks like Grant's running security there.
Yeah.
What you got there, Paul?
Yeah, Paul and I are going to get the bar. Yeah, right? See you guys later.
What do you got there, Paul?
What you got, Paul?
6309. Richard putting in a new boomerang for me, and then
Cool.
floppy disk.
There you go.
A box of new ones?
Those new or?
Yeah.
New old stock. How about that?
Nashuas. With labels.
Some of Simon's demo physical floppy.
Very cool.
That they run super smooth on medium, and yeah, that's about it.
About it. Awesome.
That was Polly Walnuts, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he goes. Yeah, I think that's about all that's going on right now.
That's cool. Good times. How many David Ladds do we have on the show today? Will the real David Ladd please stand up?
I'm right here, Stevie.
Nah, when you keep showing up, you got some clones or imposters keep popping in the call.
So now we have to rely on conversation, right?
Yeah. Well, so we had somebody who joined who's on the screen as I70bot, which I muted because we were getting a lot of noise. I'm going to try to unmute you. I70bot, are you there? I don't know who Izobot is.
I don't see him.
I70bot. Well, it's a kind of a blurred out picture, but I was getting a lot of sound loop before. So I70bot, I'm not sure who you are, but if you want to try to speak or wave a hand at us, let us know you're there if you can hear us. Not sure.
I think he's entered the Twilight Zone.
All right, so I'm going to put you back on mute because I don't know what's going on there. All right.
That was the Golden Earring song.
What's that? Oh, Twilight Zone, yeah. Good stuff. So, yeah, neat. More Tandy Assembly. Looks like they got a bar. That's nice having a bar at the hotel right outside the event, because we didn't really have like a bar at CoCo Fest. So that's a nice feature, I think, if you like to drink, There was one last year too, if you think about it. So they had in the lobby, they had drinks, cash bar where you can get drinks there, and there was an actual lounge in the hotel lobby too. So Tandy Assembly is all about getting liquored up after the show. I guess that's a good thing,
Well, for you, Stevie, that'd be perfect. We can take advantage of you.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear.
Yes. I70bot. Screen just changed. I don't know what's
All
going
right,
on.
and this show just went kind of to the dark side now.
Yeah. We just got David Ladd.
We can always go to the dark side.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Yeah, hope you can come next year, Stevie.
Yeah, me too.
It's a good facility. I think it's a better than it was last year, actually.
Okay, maybe when they have time to schedule things a little better too, they can get it back into October, which would probably be better for a lot of other people.
Yeah, they're planning on booking as soon as this is over. So
yeah, okay, good deal.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
Okay, well, it's nice to know. I mean, this was a new event. Last year was the first one, and I would consider last year a smashing success, and so year two is equally as well. So that's good.
The venue looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's unbelievable. Good stuff. I'm going to get another drink. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Are you sure that's a safe thing to do?
Brian, where do you live?
Myself, I live in Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh.
I'm actually just north of, I think David's in Omaha.
There's a lot of lawyers there?
Every
city.
Yeah. Oh, Sioux City, yes. Yeah, no, sorry, a little slow on the pickup there, but yeah,
sorry.
no. But yeah, we have about as many lawyers as we do bars, so yeah, lots of them. So, yeah.
And you would be correct. You're north of Omaha.
Yep.
Flyover country.
Jim lives in Iowa too, but the opposite end of the state, right across from River from Illinois.
Oh, and Davenport, Rock Island, or Davenport?
That area.
So what is the correct pronunciation of Iowa? Is it Iowa?
No, Iowa.
Why do some people say Iowa? Iowa.
Probably trying to pronounce the A, I suppose, there. just like the capital Des Moines, the S is silent. They try to go Des Moines.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's just Des Moines. So
there's a lot of Indian names of things, like the state of Ohio has Indian names. We have some out here in Arizona.
Mark, who did you say was on the other side of Iowa?
Jim Brain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have an office over there that I call on that I go to over there for support. So we're going through an office remodel, so I'll be going over that way a couple times over the next couple months here, probably. So. Yeah, we had a couple offices over there in the Quad Cities area over there. So, how late's this event going here? This Tandy Assembly? Did they go until?
I think it's 11:30 p.m. there local time. So.
There's here. Are they an hour ahead over there? Or where are they at there?
Yeah, they're on Eastern time.
Eastern. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, is that CoCo Max, huh? Coco Max is working? I think Nick was trying to get Coco Max to work, right?
Did earlier.
I don't need to. Oh, yeah. Oh, he did. He made that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
1 year. Well, that's what I think it's the same too.
And that's Ian right there, right?
That's Ian. Yeah.
The Mav.
Weren't you trying to get Coco Max to work?
I got it to work,
Yeah, he got it working. He showed it to us.
I showed it earlier.
I'm basically done now. All I wanted to do was just show them where they had included the interface. Okay. Yeah, cool. Why don't we leave this right?
Hey, Mark, what is that red car on your shelf? Mark.
Up there?
Yeah.
Oh, those are some toys I had from the late 60s. The one is a 67 Mustang. It's one of those stamped metal ones from Japan.
Oh, okay.
The one is a fire engine. I'll grab.
Yeah, they've been up there. I've seen them, but I couldn't tell what they were.
Telling somebody off?
Hey, did we lose Grant?
Looks it.
I wanted to find out if Paul Fiscarelli had showed off his disc tool, update to his disc tool, and if he showed off his game, his little space flight game that he was working on in assembly. So I don't know if any of that got demoed at Tandy Assembly.
Cool.
So it's a red Mustang. It's one of these metal ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it may have been squished a little bit. Yeah, but these type of things are kind of a cool collector's item now. So
It looks like it's a nicer model than Nick's Ferrari.
Takes 2D size batteries. Basically, it has a little roller wheel. It runs and it runs into stuff, then it turns. So very low tech.
I'm a Mopar guy.
Yep.
They got me a Dodge pickup.
This one I think is a Tomy. I think is who made this one. It's a fire engine. Tar heel.
Mine is made in Thailand.
These are made in Japan, as far as I know, from the 60s.
All the good stuff's made in Japan.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say?
Well, in our case, it's Korea and USA.
These are like Dennis's metal sheet, stamped and then folded. So.
Is this show us your toys segment of the show now? Yeah.
Yeah, David's next.
I got more in my bedroom.
Put it away, Stevie. Put it away.
Oh, dear God. Well, we got twice the Tandy Assembly in one day. We got more Tandy Assembly than we deserved for one day.
Should be all put together by now, right?
The show?
Tandy Assembly?
Yeah, it should be assembled, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Completely assembled.
Yeah.
So did they put up the seminars on YouTube?
Oh, I don't know if the event had their own official.
Oh, right, I see.
Or not, I know a few individual people did for Stuart Chaffee, so.
They will. They haven't put them on yet, but they will.
Okay.
The show, they've taped a lot of the presentations.
Okay. Good.
When Stuart did his show about Tandy, he showed us his Model 1. I wonder if he made reference to that at the show. That he still has it.
He said he still does.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was during the Q&A, but my understanding is he still have it. He mentioned that his Tandy Model 1 was his favorite machine, so yeah. I can't imagine him getting rid of it. He'd had it packed away in the garage for years when he pulled it out to do that show that they show at the front of the talk or whatever.
Right. Cool.
Hey,
Good night, everyone.
Hey, Diego is here. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. And you guys?
Not bad, not
Pretty
bad.
good.
The 100% shareholder of all the switcheroos sold in Uruguay is with us here right now. So.
Oh, yeah. Also 100% super IDs and a few other things.
you own the marketplace.
Oh, yeah. I can make it or break it.
Diego, do you have a jacket on?
No, it's kind of a sweater. I just came from a show from a Beatles tribute band.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. Were they good?
Yeah, they are. They've been playing for like 15, no, more than 20 years. 35 years, they said. Yeah.
So they're pretty tight now, huh?
I'm old. Now they keep switching. They have the one that created the band coming and joined for the last couple of songs, but he's an old man just like me, and yeah.
Nothing like the Beatles.
Yeah. And I just realized that now you moved your clocks and we didn't. So now I'm...
Yeah, we didn't either. We're 2 hours behind Eastern.
Okay.
What are you?
Well,
Eastern?
what time is it Eastern now?
We have
10:35 p.m.
8:35 here.
So yeah, I'm 35 past midnight.
So you're 2 hours ahead of Eastern time.
Yep.
So 4 hours for me.
Yeah, South America has actually shifted closer to Greenwich Mean Time than.
So you're talking from the future?
I am.
Yes.
Wow.
That's me.
Ooh.
Diego, can you hear me?
I hear that people. No, that's. I have my tarot deck.
Let's see, for Nick, it's already the 11th of November, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's Sunday over here. 1:35
p.m.
p.m. Yeah.
I missed a few of the last talks around and calls and everything, so I'm busted. I'm gonna have to go to bed in a little bit, but just wanted to drop and say hello to everybody.
You missed the Tandy Fest. We had the Tandy Fest on.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, that's what replays are for.
And I'm still saving for CoCo Fest 2020.
So
have you gotten any new acquisitions or anything?
No, not really. I've been kind of lazy lately. I'm just trying to do, since I can't get the SDC, I'm trying to do one of those ultimate disk images for the Super ID.
Yeah.
So I've been going through all my images, all my files, everything, trying to sort out, see what works, see what it doesn't. Because a lot of those programs will work in a floppy disk, or but they don't work with the Super ID because they need to be perhaps in drive 0 or stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out which ones work. And
somehow in the future, it might be neat if some of the software we have was sorted by CoCo 3 and then CoCo 2.1. Because it's tough. You see what you think is a game that's going to play on a CoCo 2.
Yeah.
And error in line 30. Then that kind of gives you the idea. Well, it's for a 3.
Yep.
And you try and remember that, but you don't always remember. You wind up playing the stupid thing again, and that's right. That's for a 3.
Yeah, I've been finding things that I don't know where I got them, but weirdest games and programs and stuff. There's one utility that is just to copy one line in BASIC to another number. You execute, and it asks you which line you want to duplicate, which is the new line number, and there you go.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's useful back in the days when all you had was the the original type it in editor of BASIC. But now with a modern cross development tool, it's easier to copy and paste lines of code.
Yep.
But back then that was been very helpful.
When you change the line number there, does it change it like on a go-to statement farther down the program, or just
no? Because it duplicates the line. It doesn't change the one that you had.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a move. It's like a
and that's what makes the renumber command very powerful, because it does dynamically relink everything as far as what line number things are pointing to. Where when I've done the on the modern editing stuff, when you manually edit line numbers, any reference that gets changed, you got to change it yourself. So you can open up a can of worms by changing line numbers without doing it in the interpreter.
Yep. And I also found another called Crunch, which gets your basic programs and gets rid of the extra spaces, tries to compact the lines, put together multiple lines in one, removes the remarks, and even if you have like a line that ends with a print, it removes the trailing quotation marks because you don't actually need them when you're saving one byte.
So you could run it on an MC10.
Yeah,
possibly. Ron, I don't have the same impressive setup of screens that you do. I've only got 2 screens behind me here, so this is far from mission control. But I do have a CoCo 2 and a CoCo 1 and a CoCo 3 running side by side up there. So,
yes, you do. That's the white one.
Yeah, the one on the bottom is a white CoCo 1, and that's connected to the screen on the right with playing Farfall on the cartridge, and the one on the left is a CM8 playing Dungeons of Daggorath on the CoCo 3.
Looking good.
Yeah. Doing the best I can with what I got.
You got joysticks hooked up and all?
They're in the area. I don't know if they're plugged in, but I got a few of them over there. Yeah.
I do have kind of a hardware question I've been wanting to ask.
Go ahead, Brian.
A couple months ago, I happened to wake up early and hopped onto eBay, and a person posted a CoCo 3 and a CoCo 2 for $100. Buy it now.
Ooh, wow.
So I grabbed it.
Okay.
And so I got them, and they're actually in pretty clean shape and everything. But the CoCo 3 happened to have a 87 gimme in it. The 86 and the 87, how they the numbering.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I have a couple other CoCo 3s that are all gimme 86s.
Mm-hmm.
And I've wanted to look at upgrading the 6300 to the 6309 on it, on the chip. And so I'm kind of trying to debate which one to upgrade. And I keep hearing about Ed's Gimme X.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Gimme X, is that to upgrade an 86 to address the issues? Either? Okay.
Well, it's going to be like a 2018 or 2019. So. But yeah, it should be based on the 87 standard, right? So as far as the timing, because the 87 fixed whatever timing issue was off on the 86, right? So it should be based on that.
And the Gimme X has VGA built in?
Yeah. So
but
it won't have any of those problems.
They are interchangeable. So if one of those CoCos you like, for whatever reason, is your favorite one, it looks better, feels nicer on the keyboard or something, you can just pop out the gimmies and switch them around, because other than that, the machines are pretty much identical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to debate which machine to upgrade or not upgrade.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep one original. I mean, all the warranty tags have been busted on them, so I'm not worried, about trying to keep one pure, but just trying to decide which one, because none of them have socketed chips on them. So
none of them are virgins.
No, they've all been violated. So yes.
Yeah. So. I'm still hoping when I go to heaven, I'm going to get 72 versions. So.
I don't know if you've done enough damage for all
That's when you go see Allah Akbar.
Allah, yes, Ahmed. So,
If I remember right,
I kill you.
The upgraded gimmies. You could just buy them to swap in.
But yeah, so if you're going to take it out, I would suggest you take a picture of it first, so you have the orientation of where the writing was. Because like a lot of chips, there's a marker on the dip where you know where pin 1 goes, because there's a little notch or cutout or something.
Beveled edge. They should.
Yeah, this one once you take it out, you know, there's no clear indication which way it goes back in.
Yeah, take a picture. I have a silver permanent marker I like to use, and
yeah, you could do that too.
Mark on the chip and a mark on the board.
Yep, that works too. So, yeah, and like for me, I'm not really a soldering kind of guy. So I'm okay swapping out chips that are already socketed. Mm-hmm. You know, gimme being one of them, things like that. But I wouldn't try to desolder myself. Not on a live machine. You know, maybe I'd do a cadaver and you know, get my skills.
Sure.
But yeah, I was lucky that last year at Tandy Assembly, you know, Richard was right there, so he took care of a CoCo for me.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the soldering piece of it, so yeah, I'm gonna probably put an order in for. I got everything else now. I was gonna get my boomerang, and then I was gonna order a couple chips and have one machine that's all tweaked out and upgraded, and try to keep a couple other machines, you know, regular. But
right.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Slowly building my arsenal.
Neat. Yeah, I was just kind of reflecting earlier today too, thinking about, you know, when I first started doing YouTube, I was only doing emulators, and I was just trying to recapture my memories. And then I just remember that one fateful day when somebody says, you know, you can get a color computer on eBay. And that one statement just changed everything. And it's just like, oh man, if I had $1 for every CoCo I've bought off eBay this time, I could probably buy another CoCo right now. So
I tell you what, though, yes.
Do you have any multi-packs or?
Yeah, I have 2 of them. I have a silver and a white multi-pack.
And do you have them upgraded or anything yet?
The white one I think I have upgraded, because that's the original one I bought way back when.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the silver one I just actually acquired that one here not too long ago. So, because I have a CoCo 1, and I wanted to have an all gray setup, or silver setup, and then I have a number of CoCo 2s and a number of CoCo 3s, and I have a CoCo 3 motherboard and I have a power supply, and I just recently got a keyboard for it, but I don't have a case. And then oh shoot, I can't remember the guy's name. He put a posting out on Facebook that he had a case and a guy was interested in it. And I wish I could remember the guy's name. Shoot. And he didn't want it. And so I messaged him and said, do you still got that CoCo 2 case? And he said, yeah. It has a crack over in the corner by the keyboard. And he goes, what's your address? And he shipped it off to me. And then I messaged him back and said, what do I owe you for it? And he goes, nothing. He goes, enjoy.
Wow.
So that was really nice of him.
Yeah.
To do that. And so I might do that one and take that CoCo 2 case and make it into a CoCo 3. So.
Ooh.
So just I might reach out to who's doing the labels out there?
Carlos Camacho.
Yeah. Buy one of his, maybe upgrade that board and put like a 2 meg sticker on it or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw today he was talking about doing a reproduction on the square RAM badge stickers too.
Yeah.
Instead of the long barred looking ones, but the little square ones. And that was very kind of trademark CoCo. You know, my first CoCo I think had that little sticker on it, 16K, the whole 9 yards. So
only the CoCo ones, right?
Yeah, the CoCo one had the little square badge thingy. I just think it's so neat that we can, you know, we live in a time where mere mortals can get reproductions that are on par, if not better, than what big corporations made, 30, 40 years ago. The fact that they can do that kind of stuff. So I don't know who IO7 Obot is again, but looks like he's moving his camera around. I see the lights changing. I don't know what's going on. I still got him muted because I haven't seen any indication of life there. At least we're enjoying a very pretty colorful light show there. Is it EDT or EST? Oh, I don't know. Is it STD? Are we in Eastern Daylight Time now, technically? Because my thing still says Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, you are in Eastern Standard Time. Man.
Are we in Eastern Standard Time? So before we were in Daylight Time, now we're in Standard Time?
Yep.
Crap. Remember, I don't know.
Fall back, fall, spring forward.
Spring forward, fall back. So when you spring forward, you're in Standard?
You're in Daylight Time. When you fall back, you're on Standard Time.
So Brian, you got your stuff set up in the room you're in, or?
No, not yet. No, I have to kind of. I don't have a defined space yet. When
I took over our spare room, which my wife just loves. You gonna do that?
No, I do want to. Yeah, eventually I do. I want to have a desk set up and be able to do something where I have a couple of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them all set up all the time, and can mess around with them. But I pull them out from time to time. Most of my stuff I just do on the emulator and kind of play that way for right now. But I do like tinkering with the original hardware, and I want to be able to get it all set up. And so I've been buying some of the hardware that's available, so I can get regular monitors hooked up to it. I do have a working CM8 that I bought. It was the one that I bought myself way back when, and it still works. And yes, it has the cover that everybody always jokes around about. So.
Yeah,
right. So I got I have my original CoCo 3 and multi-pack and CM8 monitor that I want to have all set up, and then have a CoCo 2 set up and then a 1, and then the rest of the stuff will just be in storage and pull it out as needed or collect it. So
when did you get your first CoCo?
Would have been back in '84.
CoCo 2 then, or?
Yep, would have been a 2. Yep.
Oh, hi everybody.
Dig into my leftover Halloween candy here. Hey, here's some thinking ahead, and we've got a little time to plan for this, but since we got a few of us here together, so we just celebrated episode 82 today. At some point in time, we're going to be getting to episode 100. So when that time happens, and so we're looking at 20 weeks, that's 5 months away. That might be CoCo Fest time. We're right around there. Should we try to do something special for episode 100? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we can all try to stay sober.
We'll play the Apollo 100 song.
Do you think the show will go better that way?
Probably not. You're right. It was a silly idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it would be kind of neat to do something interesting, Steve. I don't know if it like maybe do like a highlight show maybe or something like that, or just talk about something specific, or.
Well, I'll show up with our shirts off.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, really.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Well, I'll get a tattoo.
The 100 Club, right? So.
Yep, that'd be us. 100 Club.
Well,
Mike
you
Brandt,
gotta make T-shirts, right?
Mike Brandt says a 100-hour marathon, right?
We should do a future show. It's CoCoTALK 104.
That's almost like CoCo Forever.
Yeah. I know. You guys have any specific ideas for the 100th episode? What you want to do? I was thinking we could show Stevie playing 100 games. He doesn't make it past level 1.
Is your daughter Megan? Could she host the show?
That would be interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can sing the theme too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she did before.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Watching on my phone, I wasn't able to actually join for a bit. But
Curtis was trolling in the background there, so
I was in and out as far as watching. I didn't get to watch it continuously through. So
yeah.
So you saw our coverage of Tandy Assembly?
Yeah, I saw some of it.
Yeah, it looks like a good event. I
caught a little bit of the trivia thing at the beginning, but not
yeah, right.
Did you get your right?
They started off with some softballs, in my opinion. So, or I'm just a huge TRS-80 geek at this point by listening to everybody.
Apparently, you're a nerd. I think.
What are you doing hanging out with us? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, I know. We could make a 100th show pocket protector. Run.
Actually, what I was thinking is getting glasses and like taping a bunch of white masking tape on the front, and writing 100 on it. So it's like
100.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then play that, CoCo 2 Revenge of the Nerds scene.
Yep, with these audio spectrum
synthesizers. Yeah.
That ought to be. You just gave me a good idea. We need to have a segment. So we need 2 segments. We need like a speech sound pack segment where we get speech sound pack to say stupid things. And then we need to build a
give a prize for identifying what it is it said.
Yeah, right. And then, like when Bruce had played his little music track today, we should be able to run stuff through the audio spectrum analyzer so we can see the little bars and kaleidoscopes and stuff like that. So why not, right? It's a CoCo show.
Yep. As long as it's somewhat CoCo related, we should be fine.
See which one of us guys can make a sound go on the bottom bar on the far right.
Hit the low notes and high notes. And,
yeah.
All right. Oh. So.
Don't ask me to do that. I still sound like I'm trying to break puberty here. So
I think I could hit the other end.
Let's hear it, David. Go ahead, David. Your moment to
I'm
shine.
turning my volume down on my headphones first.
You sure?
It's going to be a future commercial. Go ahead. Do it again.
Come on, David.
When is CoCo Fest?
Must have cut me off.
It's going to be in beginning of May.
May 5th.
Okay. Our 100th episode would land on March 16th.
Okay.
Assuming we don't have any more delays.
If there's maybe 1 or 2 meltdowns in between, it could shift. It could shift.
Only 1 or 2?
We might have to take a holiday break,
Yeah. So we're looking at March.
Yeah.
And that would be like. So what's next year? Next year is 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
That'll be like the 2nd anniversary of the show, too.
Yep.
2nd anniversary, 100 episodes.
That'd be about right. Because we
together.
Yeah, pretty close to it. Because that's when we started talking about CoCo Fest 25.
Yeah. So, yeah. Or
There's
26,
like,
I think.
There's
like middle of March, I think, is when we started.
Yep.
Since I joined the show around the 20th one, there's been, I discovered Paul, and then there's this other guy that lives in Mesa that's a CoCo guy on this side. And maybe there could be, by next year or the year after, if there's a few more guys show up, we could have our Western.
Yeah. If the budget increases between now and then, we can fly everybody out to Ron's place, right? So,
yeah. That'd be great.
Ron's Garage Talk.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, I've got to run, actually.
All right, Nick, you're in the future.
I'm in the future, that's right.
What time is it? Sunday?
Sunday, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m.
All right.
Yeah. All right, then.
Enjoy the run.
See you later, Nick.
All right, bye.
Enjoy.
Hey, Nick Marotta just joined us.
Looks like CoCoTALK #1 was 3/19/2017.
Wow.
So the 100th, at this current rate, the 100th episode will be right about 2 years.
Yeah, because I think we missed 1 or 2 episodes.
Because of
earlier.
because of Tandy Assembly and CoCo Fest, things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So Nick Marotta turned 50. So he said he was out for his birthday debauchery. All right.
50, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years and years ago. Nick Marotta, join us. Eh? All right, so what did we not talk about so far that's worth talking about? Did we miss anything today?
No, I think the news wrap up from Facebook was pretty good. So.
Yeah, I felt like we had really kind of glossed over news for a while, so it was nice to kind of jump in.
Yeah, kind of catch it up a bit.
Yeah. there was a lot of stuff going on. So
I know Rick's been on Discord quite a bit, asking questions to help him get his CoCo 3 version of Temple of Rom going.
Yeah, looks like he's making some good progress too.
I'm behind on Discord. I'll tell you, for me, I really enjoyed seeing that big giant Dino Wars thing. That was really cool. I'd like to have that. That should be a raffle prize. Actually, they should get everybody from Tandy Assembly just to sign it. All the attendees to
and then
autograph
raffle it off.
Raffle it off, yeah.
I don't know though. Is there a bit of snobbery there with some of the Model 1, 3, 2 guys versus the CoCo?
There didn't seem to be last year.
Okay. I haven't actually been to it in person, so
yeah. No,
I just know there seems to be a bit of ignorance, I guess, with some of them because they go CoCo, what's that type thing? Like they don't really know that. Even.
No, I think they're aware. Yeah, because so that guy Peter Bartlett from Bartlett Labs, he does a lot of stuff for the 2R80 line stuff, but he's the one who's making the CoCo VGA. He's got his own CoCo VGA that plugs into the cartridge port. So he's been learning the CoCo on an electronic level, So no, they're very aware. I think they all recognize we're all from the same family.
Okay, I just remember Jason saying earlier on the show that he said there was some people that didn't seem to know what it was. So,
well, I mean, they did.
Obviously there'd be a few, especially if it's fairly new to the show. So.
Yeah. No, but last year's show was a good mix, I thought. We had the Z80 line of Tandys. We had a lot of CoCo representation. We had the Intel line of Tandys were there. Some portables, so there was definitely a good mix of all the machines, and I think the synergy and then the camaraderie all seemed to work well with the entire group.
That's good.
Yeah. So it looks like it was another smashing success.
Is there groups that kind of get together like you guys were talking about on CoCo Fest, where after everything kind of wrapped up, you guys went and got something to eat together and had some drinks and talked and BS'd, or is everybody kind of go and do their own thing?
Well, I can't speak for what they're doing. It looks like this year a lot of them are at the bar, and there's a bar right outside the venue. Nice. Yeah. Last year it seemed like the two places that we went to the most were the what was the wing place? Roosters or whatever it was called? I don't remember what it was called.
I don't remember.
Roosters.
Yeah. So, we went to that Roosters place because it was literally right in the parking lot, like right outside. And then the other place that had the hot dogs was the Giardello's or whatever the hell it was called.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were like the two go-to places that we went to during the weekend. And other than that, it was kind of hanging out there. I remember last year at Tandy Assembly because I think at midnight they had to close it down Saturday, right? So once because that was the rules of the house, right? So when they closed that down, I guess a few people went a few different directions, but a number of us were literally just hanging out in the lobby of the hotel, just sitting up front,
Yeah, so we did it at CoCo Fest too. I mean, they had that part out where they made us stop playing music, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And again, that was just kind of the rule of the venue, right? Because at CoCo Fest, we're in the basement of a whole nother building, and they want you out and they want to lock it up. Tim Franklin's saying, did you say CoCo VGA that plugs into the game cartridge? And yeah, it's a project that Peter Bartlett's been working on. I think he debuted it last year at Tandy Assembly, and he's been working on it. So it plugs into the cartridge port. It kind of sniffs and snoops the bus and captures the signals and then outputs it through the cartridge port to a VGA port. And, I think the first version he had on there, he didn't even realize that the CoCo artifacted. So, he captured the P Mode 4 screen and it was pure RGB, so I don't know where it is now. But yeah, I'm hopefully some people who saw it could report on that.
It's doing artifacting now. He's got it. I think he's got everything working. But like he said, he's trying to add. He'd like to have it have the same capabilities as he does the mice and the Mies, the M1 SE and the M3 SE. So I think he's trying to put that additional capability in there. Because he was showing me that he's got DNS and DHCP working on the development board. So he's been doing some stuff around Ethernet as well.
Wow.
But yeah, the VGA part seems to work, or the artifacting stuff. I think he's got that all figured out now.
Oh, neat. Neat. So it's come a long way in a year.
Yeah, he's continuing to work on it. He's
Jim, does he have the full artifacting support, or is it just the base 4 color artifact?
Well, you know what? I could find him here real quick and ask him. They're working on a Model 4, but I'll check in just a second here. I just got to walk down and holler at him, but I can get to the detail where it is.
Right.
So what's the question?
What's the ultimate test? Like,
like Sands of Egypt or something like that. Like the splash screen has all those sub artifact colors.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you he doesn't, because I bet you he doesn't know that is a. I bet you he doesn't know that's a requirement. He'll have to.
The purples and the yellows and all that stuff.
What do they call that? Dithering, where you have the checkerboard pattern or something, or
dithering is where you put two colors, different colors side by side.
Yeah, so like red and white gave you orange, and blue and white gave you light blue, and the blue and the dark blues with the stripes, and the red and blue stripes gave you the purple. And so the titles that come to mind, Curtis mentioned Sands of Egypt, Splash Screen, Shooting Gallery did a pretty good job of having the colors, and then Pegasus and the Phantom Riders, as you know, your foliage on your trees and stuff off in the distance and everything had those patterns.
And the island.
And the island, yeah.
Okay, so I've got like so tell me some games that maybe are things that I should try.
Pegasus and the Phantom Rider.
Curtis?
Shooting Gallery.
Pegasus.
CoCo Max 2.
Okay, Shooting Gallery. So art gallery is not the same thing, right?
No.
Shooting Gallery is a game.
Okay, well, let me look here. Let me see if I can get to. He's got a CoCo Flash here, so let me see how many. If I can find some games here. Dino Wars, typing. Oh, doesn't look like he's got a bunch of D's and he switches to T's. Demon Attack, Demolition Derby, Diagnostics. These must be pretty simple games. Thexter, Type Make, Typing. It's probably not. I was thinking he maybe had some of the games right in here. Which one would have just the regular P Mode 4?
Is this a CoCo Flash, like the ROM cartridge Flash, or is it an SDC still? Oh, okay.
No, it's a CoCo Flash. I don't think he doesn't. I can put my CoCo SDC in, but I don't know if I have any of those games on it. I'm not a big game player.
What?
Yeah,
where's that hang up button?
Cute.
He's just trolling, right? He actually does play games. I mean, Shooting Gallery is a cartridge. I would have a fair bit of that. I'm just trying to think.
Shooting Galleries, okay. Well, let me see if I can find.
That is a cartridge game. Pegasus and Sands of Egypt are both disc games, so.
Okay.
Hit my website.
I'll have to see. I'd bother him, but they're trying to fix some sort of memory error on a Model 4 over here, and I hate to bother him while he's.
Yeah, so the only cartridge then I can think of is Shooting Gallery. Right.
Neil might be able to help. Do you have a CoCo SDC with like Shooting Gallery or Pegasus? See, Neil doesn't even have those games. So you guys are. They are. Can you find me a cartridge that's got one of those games on it? Okay, hold on. We'll get a cartridge.
Mm.
Here we go. Shooting Gallery.
Nice.
That'll work.
He's looking for it. We don't seem to. They said Pegasus, Project Nebula, Thexter, Tetris, Bomb Threat. No, it has no name on it. Radio Shack. That's in the Pegasus or
Shooting Gallery.
Shooting Gallery. Yeah, nobody has those games.
Or Sands of Egypt.
Sands of Egypt. Sands of Egypt. Yeah, you guys they're like most esoteric games known to man that you guys are giving me. You're killing me, Smalls.
No, these are stock Radio Shack games here.
I know. I don't know, but I guess what we need is some sort of a test like program that tries out all this stuff. Somebody needs to whip one up so we can try it on these things. So I can't tell you how far he is along on it right at the moment, but I'll send a note to folks afterwards. You can check it out in the Discord thing as soon as it gets done. So anyway.
Yeah, but it's a neat project. Tim Franklin says he's been working on something too, apparently. He says he says he's got an FPGA that reads data from the port, and then CPU writes my FPGA captures it and runs it into a simulated gimme.
If they have any of the Mark Data Products graphic adventure games, some of those have those extra colors too, like shenanigans and stuff.
Yeah, but what he described, Tim, that's the same kind of thing he's doing right here. There's the board right there that he's been working on. So that's what it looks like. It's got a big, let's see, the Altera Cyclone 4, I think.
Wow.
Cyclone 4. So it's pretty heavy duty unit right there. So yeah, there's the Ethernet part off to the side, and then he said there's let's see, where is it here? 512K of RAM that he's got right there because he has to mirror the whole RAM, everything. He has to mirror all of RAM. So all of the RAM that's in the main unit, he has to mirror on his board.
Wow.
Yep.
This is a kitchen sink solution here.
Is there any latency or anything?
No, there's no latency because he'll update. He'll have the new RAM stored within that same memory cycle. So by the time the simulated, the gimme, the gimme emulator sees the RAM on the second half of that cycle or the start of the next cycle, the memory will be sniffed and stored. It shouldn't have any. In fact, you can't have any latency on the storage of the memory because you'd get messed up in a hurry.
Yeah, that's what I do with David Ladd's socks too, sniff and store. So
that's too much information. I think.
That's right. So, in any event, I think everybody should encourage Peter. He said he was cursing the 6809 assembly for a while because he was used to Z80. So, but he's got it figured out now. So maybe he's not so happy about writing assembly code to test his stuff out.
That's like dissing eating chocolate because you're used to eating Vegemite.
You know what? I'll let you tell him that.
Yeah, right? That's like being in Australia and having dirt for food. So it's
well, just remember they can upgrade it. They just add water and they're actually eating mud. So
that's it. Yeah. A softer palate.
Yeah. I think people have, as far as the other question, I think folks are partaking of the bar options here, and then it seems like everybody's congregating in a couple different spots. There's a guy over here that's got a Raspberry Pi kind of thing that's plugged into did Jason show you guys that, where the guy's got that actual Model 1 keyboard plugged directly into a Raspberry Pi?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We saw it quickly.
Huh?
We saw it earlier.
In Model 3, I think. But yeah, maybe in Model 1.
Is that the emulator that he's working on?
It's an emulator, but it's a little different. I'll just show it to you real quick. I won't talk because he's busy talking to somebody, but I'll turn it on so I can show you the picture of it. But what I think is really neat is he's using an actual keyboard, but he's using an emulated Model 1/Model 3 on the Raspberry Pi. So I'll just turn the video on here and I'll bring it in.
Oh, we're right next to it. Yeah.
So there it is.
Yeah.
So it's got the actual keyboard and it's got a Raspberry Pi and it's plugged right into the GPIO. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's one group there, and then there's another group over here looking at Neil's new 4000. Isn't that 4000 or 3000?
That's a 3000.
12 megahertz of 8286 Glory, and then they're over here working on a Model 4.
Wasn't anybody showing the Sensation?
No, Neil's been. This is his. He's trying to. Hey Neil, what are you trying to do to this? You trying to reload it? Is that what you're trying to do? He's trying to. Yeah, he's trying to reload it back to factory because they've got the factory CD.
Yeah, didn't the Sensation have like an graphical user interface of some kind?
Oh, I don't know. I can ask Neil. He's answering another question from somebody, but it sounds like it would. It was a multimedia type machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think it had one of those that they needed to run over Windows 3.1 because nobody liked Windows 3 and they kept doing weird stuff to run on top of it.
Yeah.
So you have to do a SysC.
I don't know. They're trying to debate the merits. how to get this thing back to standard. So
F disk.
Yeah, right.
F disk format C:/S.
Does it when you get done with the Sensation? Does it have a graphical interface that it uses?
Yeah, it uses
Windows 3.1. WinMate.
WinMate, kind of like the Windows version of DeskMate, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
WinMate. Never heard of that one before. Interesting.
Did it? I wonder if it had to use the CD to make it work, or was it on the hard drive?
I'm sorry, what?
Did the graphical part come from a CD, or was it
Yeah,
right on the hard drive?
booted. It came on the install disk.
Oh.
So that's what they're loading on right now.
I think once it's loaded, it should be all booting and running off the hard drive, though. I would imagine.
I'm
right?
sorry. Yes, off the
Yeah.
but they're loading it off the CD. But yeah, when it runs, it run off the hard drive. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was that a 486 or 386?
What is the Sensation? Is Sensation a 486 or 386? 486. He said.
486. Yeah.
Wow.
Probably a DX, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
It's actually running over 100.
You have a Pentium mode right in that one, so he's got it souped up. Here is a CD right there.
Thank you.
No problem. They were looking for a 3.5-inch disc earlier tonight. We don't have any of them at all of Tandy Assembly.
Wow.
Really? I think they
Gee.
finally found one, but because they needed one to boot, how you do on a DOS machine, you gotta boot the drivers for the CD-ROM drive. I think that's what they needed it for. And there's no CD, there's no floppy disks, 3.5. You got tons of 5 1/4s, but no 3.5s around here. Wow. So
That's an interesting show. You probably have more 8-inch discs there than you have 3.5.
I think, yes, I know we do, because Pete Satinsky's here, and he's got plenty for his Model 2, and then there's some that were sitting in the. I think there were some that were sitting in the auction today, and
Do you guys know how much is stored on an 8-inch floppy? How does that work?
it's like 180K unformatted, maybe like 130K formatted. Huh?
Wouldn't David Ladd know? He's
Well,
king of floppies.
I don't think he's the lord of the 8-inch floppy.
Oh.
Yeah, because size
the
matters.
biggest. I think the biggest floppy he knows about is 5 1/4.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know anything about that big.
No?
Yeah, you can find it
doesn't
out.
Reach that far.
So 8-inch Tandy Model 2 diskette size.
I wonder if it's a Winchester.
Like the rifle?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll check it out real quick. But
Well, while you're doing that,
not
I'm
much.
going to let Diego know. Hey, Diego, I finally finished watching all of the Star Trek Next Generation movies now.
Ooh. All the movies.
Yeah.
Did you hate anyone?
No, I didn't hate any of them, but the last one, Part 10, Insurrection, there was a couple of plot holes I wasn't crazy about, but I think it did a good job of tying everything up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
No, that one was called Insurrection. That one was called Nemesis. Yeah.
Yes.
So Star Trek 10 was Nemesis, right? So,
Yeah, the last one was Nemesis.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at the catalog, or Radio Shack catalog from '81, and each of those discs were 486K.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just looked up. They're
Wow.
492 formatted, double density, double sided.
Okay, I must be thinking the old 5 1/4 single-sided then.
Yeah.
With the four drive setup, you had 2 megabytes.
2 megabytes. That's right.
Back in '81, that was a lot.
Power.
Actually, if I'm remembering correctly, weren't the 8-inch, the 360 RPM, kind of like the high-density ones?
Huh? What'd you say? Sorry, Curtis.
Oh, I was trying to remember, but weren't the 8-inch discs kind of like the high-density ones? They rotated 360 RPM instead of 300?
Oh, I don't know. You got me.
Trying to remember now. We used to have one of them at work on one of the pre-press machines.
Was there any made any bigger? Or is 8-inch the limit?
That was the biggest I remember ever seeing.
Well, I think the original hard drive platters were huge. They come in these big canisters with the lid, and you had to put them down and twist them in the machine. So the hard drive platters were bigger than a freaking plate. You know, you could put a damn.
Well, you had one of those big primary Tandy hard drives at the show there, that 8 meg one, like, you know, this big with a key to turn it on.
The original 3030 IBMs were like 3 feet. They were run on 3-phase motors.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you had cylinder RAM or cylinder stuff before that.
Yeah, the original floppy disks were the 8-inch Shugart.
And yeah, these were 360 RPM. Yep.
Okay, I was remembering that right then. For once, I remembered something right.
I guess it beats, you know, what they had to do in Egypt where they had to like chisel in the hieroglyphs onto the stone wall, you know. So
yeah, that was pretty bad for error correction.
Yeah, but at least that stuff is immune to EMPs. So
yeah, as a backup storage medium, it was actually quite good.
Yes, and water. At least little amounts.
I'm gonna drop. It's quite late here, so it's.
You're in the future too, right? So it's midnight for you, Diego.
Yeah, no, it's past 1. It's
past
20
1?
past 1.
Oh, because you don't have daylight savings.
Yeah, we don't. Now, when we went the other way around, so we went actually further apart. If we changed our time, we would have moved 1 hour ahead when you move 1 hour behind.
Okay.
But we stopped doing that a few years ago, and now all the cell phones and all computers get messed up every time.
Oh, okay.
Good night, Diego.
Right.
Take care, everybody.
Buenas noches.
Yeah, later, Diego.
Far out, far out. Well,
at this Tandy Assembly, was there any comment of a younger crowd there at all that's taken an interest in this retro stuff, or is it still just the same?
There wasn't as many. I didn't see as many younger folks here today as I think seems to me like CoCo Fest might have had a few younger folks attending than this unit. I think the problem is, you know, it's Springfield, so you know, Chicago probably draws some people that are kind of nominally interested that maybe are not, you know, fully committed to the platform and might be younger. I don't know. You got to be pretty committed to come to this location. Springfield's not exactly a big town, so.
How about compared to last year, Jim? Last year's 10-day assembly, as far as age.
You know, I'm trying to think. It looks like a lot of the same folks are here as they were last year, so I would say I would probably call it about the same as last year.
Okay.
I don't think it's changed appreciably.
Well, I saw a handful of younger kids there, but they were probably the offspring of the attendees. So I think Randy Weaver's kid was there on the microphone talking, and Peter Satinsky's kids, and so.
But I think they were here last year too. So, and you're right. I don't know that I'd call them. You know, I don't know that I'd necessarily count them.
They weren't brought in off the street. So yeah.
No, they weren't. They weren't. That's true.
So wouldn't it be pretty terrible if, as time goes on, we drop off and nobody picks this stuff up?
I think it will. Like at the VCF Midwest and the CoCo Fest in the spring, there's a lot of, you know, young folks who are just now getting involved at kind of they're kind of like the retro. You know, they weren't alive when it was brand new, but they're getting into them and whatnot. I think it's there. I just think this particular venue, and I'm not saying it's a bad venue. I'm just saying I don't know that it has a lot of draw, you know, from
that's
like
kind
Chicago.
of out of the way for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's right. And so, you know, you already got to know about this to come to it. It's not something you just drop by. I think at the Lombard or even at the Glen, what is it? Village, Elk Grove Village, which is where the VCF Midwest is. I think those are, you know, there's a lot of postings in the area around that, and kind of ancillary groups that are kind of affiliated with VCF, or the people that are in kind of the VCF sphere are also in the classic guitar sphere or the classic car sphere or whatever. And so that kind of sprinkles across different places. And I think they get some people that come in, you know, that wouldn't ordinarily have made plans to show up, but they got some time on a Saturday, so they drop by. I don't think you have that here. So I don't think you can use this particular show as an indicator of whether the young crowd is staying away or not interested or whatnot. It's just kind of a different focus, I think.
Hey Jim, Michael Brand is asking, do you have any announcements or updates from Go for Retro for Tandy Assembly?
Well, I think I was hoping to have Coco Mim Jr. running Nitrous 9 level 2, but unfortunately, it seems everybody's been busy this summer. So unfortunately, I'm still waiting on.
With that too. So
yeah. So unfortunately, I'm ready to go with it, and I've also got an Arduino adapter that that's for the CoCo that I need somebody that loves to do Arduino could help me finish up. That's finished. The product's finished. I'm just waiting for kind of the killer app to make sure the product does what it's supposed to, so I can put it in production. I did notice that there's a lot of there's a lot of interest in the RS-232 capabilities. So I did tell folks here at the show that I'm going to put the CoCo link, the single or maybe even a double RS-232 unit in production, at least to get something out there. But I don't know that I have anything earth-shattering coming on right now. I think probably Grant or Jason probably showed off. John Strong made me a case for my MPI, so he's finally got a case designed and manufactured for it, so that's good. Trying to work out the final bugs of the design of the case, how big and wide it needs to be and everything, and then kind of set the price for it so that we can get this thing in production. So it's like everything. It's just a journey, right? Every time you get a little closer to the end, but there's so many different things. And I was telling somebody today, unlike, Coco Flash or some of these other things that you could potentially use without a case, an MPI kind of demands a case. Otherwise the cartridges they just kind of flop around on a bare board. So you really got to have a case to put some structure and some integrity around your cartridges.
Yep. Yep. Stabilization, if nothing else, too. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
we have a rainbow sheep that showed up, and we have Darth Vader 992206 hut on Mixer, who subscribed to the channel. So thanks for subscribing. And he says, "What's up?" So what's going on, Darth Vader? We're hitting the hard questions here about vintage computing. So hopefully, Michael Brandt, that answered your question. I don't know if that's
saying.
Yeah.
What?
I was going to say you was talking about a possible 2-port serial card.
Yeah.
Both 6551s, right?
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, those 6551s, but they'd have 230K. I think I can fix the problems that people have been complaining about on the 6551, like when when RTS and CTS are triggered, then it drops characters and stuff like that. I think I can fix those with the firmware, so those should be a non-problem. But yeah, two channels of 6551 goodness at 230K, and then
the 16-slot MPI.
That's right, and then fill it up. You can have 32 serial ports.
32 serial ports.
Yep. Otherwise known as the David Ladd Special.
That's right.
Well, just let me know, Jim, because I might be interested in trying out a prototype.
That's fair. Yep, can do.
David really enjoys banging bits, so.
That's right. And the Junior. You know I want to try that one.
Yes, I understand.
You're talking about the CoCo Mem Junior?
Yeah.
No, he was talking about banging Junior, so no, I'm.
David, if you do get it, let me know, and then I can maybe try to help you write the driver for the extended memory on that.
Alrighty.
Well, the key is it really, I mean, right now I need some test code to make sure that the MMU works is really the first thing, because, I fear it's still got bugs, and I don't know if you try to boot Nitrous 9. When I try to boot it, the screen just blanks out. I don't know how you debug that. I mean, I don't know how you. I don't know. If it doesn't work, what are you supposed to do first, right? I mean,
do you have a memory test program to go through the banks? Because it's kind of mapped the same way the Gimme does.
It is, and I could, but I know I don't have all the memory test programs for more than 64K of memory are CoCo 3 specific. So yeah, a memory test program. Somebody writing a memory test program would be awesome.
Can't you just press F5 and boot into safe mode?
I tried that, and you know what? Dang it, it didn't work. Probably had to do with the
I'm
problem.
surprised because I would have thought the disto 512K wouldn't have required a CoCo 3 as far as like, basically it's a 32 column text test program. It's not using the gimme for anything as far as I know, except for the MMU. It doesn't work at all, or?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it starts up and then, well, I don't think it'll load. So I'll check it again. I don't know that I have. I might have.
Because I know some of the ones that have high res screens and stuff obviously are using gimme modes you won't have on the on the CoCo Mem, but like the disto 512K was just a straight 32 column text screen.
That's right. Wasn't that the one with like the blue and the yellow rectangles or squares, and it would just show all the different ones on the screen?
Actually, the disto did. I don't think it even did that. At least not the original version that I have. It just basically said testing 512K bank 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 3F and stopped.
Okay, well maybe I need. Well, okay, so yeah, fair enough. So that's not the kind of test I need. I don't need a memory test. I need an MMU test, right? The memory I know works.
I mean, it tests the memory by mapping the MMU in constantly while it's going through it. So is that what you need for the test, or
no? It's a little bit more complicated than that, because that so I had that problem with CoCo Mem. So last year at Tandy Assembly, I had CoCo Mem here, and we were trying to get Nitrous 9 to boot on it. It wouldn't boot, and the problem is that when Nitrous 9 boots, it needs a couple very specific things. One is it needs memory to be set up in the MMU, and that's fine. Most of those programs just set up memory in the MMU. They just start paging. Typically what those programs do is they just take one of the task registers, and they just map increasing numbers of blocks of memory into that one register, and then they just cycle through memory within that AK. But even if you do all 64K of map, which, oh man, that's loud. When you get done with that, you haven't checked things like the the FE bank being common. The memory tests
the vector
don't check
page RAM
that.
and stuff. Yeah,
it doesn't check that, and it also doesn't check that the second task register is operating correctly. Those memory programs don't turn on the second task.
Yeah, they're just checking the MMU and the RAM itself. You're right.
That's right.
So
it really has to be a combination of all those things. Like, okay, if I map this bank in task 1 and in task 0, is it the same memory or different memory? And because if it should be the same memory and it's different, then that's bad. And if it's supposed to be different memory and it's the same, that's bad as well. And then the FE space, that 256 bytes at FEXX, that needs to be no matter which bank I claim to be in, or which task I claim to be in, that memory should be the same, but the memory should be actually the memory at 3F. So the rule is that memory is actually residing in the 3F bank. And so there's just those rules that have to be done, and the FE bank has to be 256 bytes long. So my problem initially on the CoCo Mem is I didn't have FE mapped correctly, and then I made another boo-boo in that I didn't map all 206 bytes of it. I just mapped 16 bytes of it, and so FE00 to FEOF was correct, and then the rest of it was not common, and so Nitrous 9, of course, needs a whole 206 bytes. So those are the kind of tests that has to be done. The special thing they have to think about when it turns into Nitrous 9, as far as CoCo Mem Jr., is that the way the original memory on the machine is mapped in is it's mapped in as the lowest 7 blocks of RAM. So block 0 to block 7 is the original 64K in the CoCo 1 or the CoCo 2, and Nitrous 9 won't work for sure at the beginning, because Nitrous 9 maps, even if you get it to map a standard 32 column text mode, it would map that text mode up probably in bank 33F, something like that.
Yeah, because if I remember, the CoCo 3 default mapping is that the last 8 banks are what are mapped in for your, because it's the highest 16 banks or whatever it is for 128K, isn't it? Like it's basically 30 to 3F is what it goes to.
Yeah, that's true. 30 to 3F.
And 38 to 3F is what you actually would use for the default 64K boot.
For a CoCo 3, right? For CoCo 3, but on this one, you have to have the screen memory down in bank 0 to bank 7 or block 0 to
Oh,
block
okay.
7,
I didn't know. Okay,
right?
so there's a difference there between that and the
Yeah,
regular
because otherwise, I mean, you'd set the screen memory to be up at bank 3.0 to 3F or whatever, and the screen would get drawn up there, but the VDG
has no
chip
idea it
that's on,
exists.
it can't see any of that RAM, so it wouldn't see any change. It would say, well, I don't know. It didn't look like anybody's updating the screen to me. And so it'll just look like the system's hanging.
Right.
Well, Jim, is there a way that we can put the motherboard's RAM in that
if somebody could tell me where it needs to go. See, I don't know whether it needs to go. There's only 64K of it. So does it need to go to 3.0 to 3.7 or does it go from 3.8 to 3F? I don't know. I can put it there temporarily to see if it would work.
3.8 to 3F, I believe, is what the CoCo 3 does by default.
Okay. So I might be able to do that. I might be able to put it there and see if that works.
Yeah, because on, like, for instance, I know that when you map in VDG screens on level 2, the VDG screens take up the system RAM.
Okay.
So that would probably be mapped into that 64K range.
Right.
So
actually, I think if I remember, level 2 actually does the VDG screens themselves once OS9 level 2 is booted up. I think that's usually in the lower. Oh no, it might be in the higher RAM.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
every time I always initialized a VDG screen, system RAM dropped by the amount of the VDG
well,
screen.
the 32 column screen is definitely mapped into system because that's to be compatible with level 1 because you had all those system calls to map it in directly into your own process, and you only had 64K. So to maintain compatibility so level 1 programs still run correctly, it does the same thing in level 2. Whereas the new high res stuff is mapped completely outside of the process and the system task completely.
So I wonder in that case then if we move the CoCoMem Junior's memory space up to the 3.8 to 3F, if that would take care of the VDG stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I can try it. The problem is it gets a little I'll be honest with you. It gets a little disheartening to change all the CPLD code and then try to boot, Nitrous 9 ease of use or whatever, and it just immediately hangs. And I suspect it'll continue to immediately hang because it probably needs timer interrupts and a bunch of other junk that's not there. But then I don't really know where to go from there, right? I don't really. Like, what do you do next, right? What do you need to implement? What do you need to change? So it's almost like there needs to be a smaller subset of things to test out so that we can have, reasonable chance for success before we start to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, the very beginning when you boot level 2 it runs relocate REL, which is the first kernel module, and that basically sets a screen mode and what map that screen mode's in. But it also starts kicking in the IRQ for the 60 hertz timer interrupt and the other things too. But we have full assemblies of that. We can use the 32 column version of that, and then we can kind of see, like when you try to boot a level 2 one on there, does it immediately crash, or do you even get the OS9 boot?
It immediately crashes. No, it immediately crashes. So that's the thing. I think if we got to a point where it was close to working, then I'd probably send a unit out and say, okay, well, it's close. If you guys can kind of figure out the last mile of it. But right now, I think there's just something.
Something else going on as well.
I just think there's something that, because it's doing a whole bunch of trickery to try and get 2 meg into a computer that only had 64K RAM, and and so it probably needs a little bit of TLC. Well, I think the other thing that happens is I think somebody built me a copy of the OS9 level 2 drivers that work for the MOOH card, MOOH card. But it does memory banking in a complete. It still uses the MMU registers, but the way it does what it does is significantly different. I forget Tormod. I think that's Tormod's card.
Yeah.
And the way that you deal with that on the expansion port, you basically map all your stuff in, but you map it in like the upper 32K can be mapped in, and it doesn't affect the memory that's in the bottom, but the first 32K of the computer gets overwritten every time you write the lower 32K or something like that. So I think he does his mappings significantly different in the code, but that's, you know, this one here is actually a little bit cleaner than the way that card does its mappings. But when you try to run his code, it thinks there's a moo card on the end of it, and there's not, so it dies pretty quickly.
All right, cool.
You caught all that.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the fun of building hardware projects for the 8-bit computer line is trying to make the system do things that the original designers never intended for it to do. But there's definitely a steep learning curve in getting all that kind of stuff to work.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the guy who likes to beat his head against the wall because it feels so good when he stops.
That's true.
Well,
That's
Jim,
true.
if we can, you know, like Curtis said, if we can also maybe get me a prototype, and Curtis and I can fiddle with some stuff once I get my workspace reassembled.
Got it. Okay.
Sounds like what you need is a version of OS 9 that basically dumps out different phases when it reaches. So when it
Yeah, a checked build with a serial console would be just
great.
an excellent option, because then I would say, oh, here's where it died, Curtis. Here's where it died, David.
Right.
And you say, oh, well, that's because it does this and this and this, and we got to fix that, right? That would be excellent, because at least you'd know how far it got.
Like on the Moo, if you try running the Moo version of it, does it actually get the start of it and it just starts screwing up afterwards?
You know what? It's been a couple months. I don't know. I'll have to check and see. I can send you an email with where it is.
Because I'd be guessing, because it's basically a level 1 system to begin with, it's probably the closer target to what you need if it's just the memory mapping and certain things like, you know, where the video RAM is or what order the blocks are defaulted to or whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that the default memory block, since 3F is mainly used, and the VDG normally gets stuck in that 3.8 to 3F. I'm probably thinking that might be part of it, at least with the standard level 2 that I put together.
Because I know kernel part 1 used to be OS 9 P1 does have an auto memory sense to figure out how many 8K blocks it actually has active.
Sorry, I do not.
Because it has 128, 256, 512, 1 meg, 2 meg checks. And so if the mapping's in some weird order or something, that might be screwing up even on the memory test.
Yeah. I didn't want this to turn into CoCo Mem Jr. talk, but in any event, I think there's, you know, the whole summer's been sucked up from people enjoying the outdoors. So unfortunately, CoCo projects have kind of suffered through the summer.
That was my problem, but no. David, do you have source code for the Moo OS 9?
I think I gave you the links.
I got bad news for you. All that source you sent me from the original 3.3 distribution, and when my drive crashed, that was one thing I forgot to back up.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
Son of a...
I've got all my new code because I had that kept separate, but the base one that you'd sent me, unfortunately, that wasn't. Apparently, I didn't have that set in time machine as part of the backup stream. Probably because I never changed.
Jim, isn't your board supposed to be compatible with the NoCan? So can't those existing stuff work? Or
you're thinking about CoCo Mem, the main one, right?
Yeah, that's the main one. This is just the regular 2 meg. This is just a 2 meg.
This is 2 meg for the CoCo 1 and 2. Yeah.
Oh, so this is CoCo Mem Jr.
Yeah.
They're trying to retrofit OS 9 level 2 onto a CoCo 1, which never has been done before.
Right.
Well, the Moo kind of does it, doesn't it? Or is that...
Yes. Tormod's already got level 2 running on a CoCo 1 and 2 with his board. So...
Which is why I think that would be the best target, because the hardware would match except for the memory. That's the only thing that's going to be different. It'd be a lot easier to debug that than trying to take level 2 with all the gimme crap.
Well,
trying to figure out what's gimme and what's SAM, what's PIA or VD.
In the VDG to just one memory map. So I think you can only have one VDG screen.
Yeah, that's a limitation of the current driver. I mean, that you can definitely change that.
But we can go through on that later once.
Yeah, it sounds like right now we have to figure out the memory mapping first, because it sounds like there is an issue there, and obviously the Mood does it differently.
Yeah, I'm going to open up a new voice channel in Discord called Torture Talk, and you guys can.
Yeah, I saw Tom C was in here like, oh my gosh, these guys got to shut up.
Oh, Stevie, we like torturing you.
Yes, my head
Just tell them that they have to send us more beer, and then we won't be talking about this.
That's right.
This is what happens when you get geeks together late at night when they're sober.
Yeah.
Hey, I got plenty of rum.
Captain Morgan to the rescue.
Well, I will tell you on a completely unrelated note that Digital Dinos is here at the show. And I have no idea who this place is. Some company based in Ohio. But he brought just a panel van full of CoCos and Model 100s and well, you saw them earlier, the Model 2s and the Model 2 and the 2000 HDs and all that stuff. So I wanted to point out that we were talking to him earlier today, and he said somebody was like, "Oh, I hope I see you here next year," or something like that. And the guy, TJ, I guess is his name, he said, "I will be here next year as a participant, but I will not be here as an exhibitor. This is it. I'm getting rid of this stuff this weekend."
Wow.
And so, of course, we were all like, "Oh, okay."
Like fire sale tomorrow.
I know. And so I have a feeling tomorrow. So if somebody saw anything on, I assume Jason went through and showed the guys all the stuff that was still at his area. But anyway, if you guys are interested in anything there and you got a particular price, you might want to let like Jason or myself or Grant Leighty or somebody know, because my understanding is this guy is going to try and unload it all before he leaves because he doesn't want to pack it up.
So there's going to be a fire sale. Tomorrow's fire sale.
Fire sale.
Ron, Ron, you were interested in some video card or something. Video adapter, was it?
The video display extension for the Model 100?
Yeah, the expansion interface.
The what?
Model 1 expansion interface.
The Model 1 expansion interface. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll go over there and see. I mean, send me an email or send us an email.
How much untested 32K. So.
Yeah. Well, even if they had no K,
It's right next to the CoCo 1 pile, just to the right.
All right, well, send me an email and we'll see. What you think you want to pay for it, and we'll see when the prices start dropping. Because, like I said, he made it very clear that it's going to get sold here, and he doesn't want to take anything back. But if he does, he's handing it off to some guy that's going to fire sale on an eBay. So
wow. So did you catch the auction tonight too?
I caught a little bit of it. This afternoon. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the auction.
Yeah. We saw the tables. Looked like a decent, not a huge selection, but a good selection.
It did. I think it was some good stuff. I know a couple of folks, a couple of Tandy or Model 2s. I know there were some Model 2s leaving for about $40 a piece. I know Grant was really excited because he got one for like $20 or something. Bunch of bits, odds and ends and whatnot. I don't know that I saw a Tandy data terminal. If anybody is enjoying those, or DT1, that was in the mix.
Is that the one that looked like a generic PC clone?
No, this was the one that looked like a Tandy Model 4, but it doesn't have any drives.
That's the one I made a repack out of.
Oh, okay.
For my CoCo.
So, anyway, that one, there was one of those, and then probably I don't know. Teach his own, but I thought Brett Gordon, the Fusix guy, he was here earlier tonight. He picked up a 2-channel 35 megahertz oscilloscope for like $35 or $40 or something like that. So that was a pretty good deal, I thought.
Yeah, you can hook it up to a Vectrix.
Yeah, that's right. You could show your game right on the little 4.5-inch screen or whatever it is.
There you go.
I think there was a Tandy 1000 HX. What's the wedge like? Tandy 1000 with the drives in the front.
There's a Tandy 1000 HX.
Yeah,
it's like a wider CoCo.
Yeah. That one went for $100. So pretty good deals, reasonable deals. I think I saw some Model 100 stuff go in there, and some Model 3 and 4 stuff. I don't know that I saw any Model 2, 16, 12 stuff today.
Is there a lot of software? I mean, you know, the brown folder type stuff of.
The TJ's got a bunch of it. I can see it right here from where I'm sitting. It's a bunch of it in those big binders.
A couple of crap loads of that stuff here.
Why are you asking me that? Then I'm not going to hold stuff for you. You got a ton of it.
No, I just wonder. I didn't really see a whole lot except on those shelves, you know, and I don't know if people even want that stuff, you know.
I don't. You know what?
Market viability.
I would say, I think, you know, Grant got this, you know, this special piece of software, this Australian.
Yeah, we saw that.
Title or whatnot. I think
it's
the
Tim Tams.
Like, yeah, whatever it is. I think those kind of things maybe are reasonable demand, but this business software and the boring brown binders, I think that stuff it's probably online, and I wouldn't even probably want to waste the effort to drag it home.
Yeah, I guess that depends on the collector. Like if you've got the whole desk and the printer stands and all that kind of stuff, and you want the full catalog showroom look. That might be something that's on your wish list, but yeah.
I could see some people maybe wanting the manuals, but that would be if you have to be a completist on that.
Hey, I want to say hi real quick to Super Stevie Fan 69 on Twitch. I got somebody whose name is Super Stevie Fan 69. Everybody say hi to Super Stevie Fan.
You have 69 super fans. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, this is 69. I came after the previous 68. Super Stevie fans, so yeah.
Have another beer.
Have another beer, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of neat that Guy has got an incredible collection of things. So this literally is turning out to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So those of you who are there are going to get some interesting stuff, some interesting little slices of history, and the guy's got a collection. So, was that the closing ceremonies?
Yeah, I think Reich's telling us we're getting kicked out. So
yeah, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
That's right. Guess I'll have to pack up.
Just out of curiosity, what is happening with the Dino Wars poster thing? Is that going back to Tim, or is it being auctioned off or anything? Or?
Oh, you know, I don't know. I have to ask.
They're kicking us out.
I know. I don't know. It's a pretty cool thing, but
hey, Scott Went made it there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's right there. In fact, he just told me we're getting kicked out.
Yeah, I recognize his voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see Scott again, tell him we say hi.
Okay, I will. Yeah, the digital Dino guy. I got. I picked up 2 hard drives for a Model 2, Model 16. So I picked up some hard drives, and I picked up the little digital video interface controller box for a Model 100. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but
we little box for one.
Yeah, that connects to an 80-column composite monitor, right?
That's right. Yeah. It does. So I got one of those unit that came from Digital Dinos as well. So he's got some interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jason was talking with him earlier. I guess he just wanted to collect certain items, but he had to buy whole lots of stuff. So he wound up with all.
Yeah, to get the pieces he wanted.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so his wife said, "You have to get rid of the extra."
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, because he bought a lot of like 50 items and he only wanted 2 of them.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't sell it separate.
I can see that.
And that was like my first eBay experience. I had never eBayed before. And so I was like, well, there's CoCo 2s out there. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them. So I ended up bidding. My first bid for a CoCo 2 is I bid on 3. And I ended up winning all 3 auctions. So my first eBay purchase was 3 CoCo 2s. It was just like, what am I gonna? It's been downhill since then, right? So I had no idea. Yeah,
could be worse.
Yeah, because now you're at the point of remortgaging your house, aren't you, Stevie?
Yeah. So, like I say, one of them came with a cassette player and the cables, and I kept all that and a screen I bring with me all the time now. It's a little flat panel square TV. It's like a LCD thing, but it's square and it's flat and it's small and it's still it's not the widescreen or anything. So it's a good little portable unit to bring with you to trade shows and stuff. Yeah.
Are you going to do a retro addition to your house?
Who, me?
Yeah. With your...
Not that I'm aware of, no.
You're not going to head onto the garage and...
I got half my crap in the garage in bins as it is right now.
So that you can use an MPI?
Yeah, that's what I do. I want to clear things out to make room for the MPI. That's my priority. So yeah.
Yeah, you and Nick both have to do that.
Yeah, so. Just to have room for more serial ports.
I gotta get that BBS set up without it.
Yes, I need multiple drive wire connections.
At least 8 slots.
Yeah, hold on yours. We're going full on David Ladd here. So, well, good day, good day. So this is the next best thing to being at Tandy Assembly. Still got people hanging out, geeking out, talking about the things that cause divorces. So.
So, what's the plan for tomorrow? Do you have any idea what time you might do something?
Those of you who are there, what's you guys feel like showing us more stuff tomorrow?
Is there anything left to show?
Oh, end of the show is what, 2 o'clock tomorrow?
2 or 3 o'clock. Yeah, let's pull up the website again and let's see.
I think you guys have seen everything, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is what's left to see?
Yeah, I don't know.
Aren't there speakers?
Yeah, but Thomas McLaren and Jim McGinley are the last 2 speakers. We got one at 10 and one at 1.
No, thanks.
So,
but we wouldn't do those. Those will be done by the folks that run the show. And
so if nothing else, maybe like after 3 o'clock when the show is over, if you guys want to get together for the post-mortem discussion about the wrap-up talk or something like that.
It'd be interesting to hear how much of that guy's stuff all got sold off.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true. Definitely. Well, I'll probably, as soon as the show ends tomorrow, I think it ends at 3 o'clock or something, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got to get on the road because I got a 4-hour drive back to Illinois. So, I'll be online. I don't have anything else to do. The drive between here and Illinois is kind of boring. So, definitely can get on and answer whatever questions that you want to know about digital dyno, at least.
There you go. Yeah, we're getting flooded with emojis right now on Facebook, so thank you guys for the emojis. It's very, very heartwarming.
Touching.
Yes, we got hearts and flowers and blue diamonds and green clovers and all kinds of lucky charms flying by the screen there. So, yeah. Cool.
So is there a second auction tomorrow too, or?
Is there one showing up on? I don't think there is. I think the auction's done.
Okay.
Okay, so they just do a single day auction on CoCo Fest.
I think they just do the single day, and I think they don't have any more stuff. So like Steve said, I think it was a nice stash, but I think they got through everything they wanted, and then they closed it up.
Yeah, because that's thinking maybe that digital dyno guy would actually, if he wanted not to bring stuff back with him, if they had a second auction tomorrow, that maybe kick him in like some people do at CoCo Fest.
Well, he could always do it right there at his thing. There's no,
true.
There's nothing that says he can't say, okay, gather around people because I got.
All he needs a carnival barker and you're ready to go. So
that's right.
Yeah, that could be like a fire sale auction where he's done now. Let's just. Do I hear $4 for this Tandy 2000?
Well, and we're gonna. I, for my part, I think like Malcolm and I and there's a couple other folks like Josh who's here does M100 Model 100 retrofits and fixes and whatnot. I think the goal is to encourage an auction, kind of impromptu auction tomorrow right before the end. So we'll help him unload his stuff.
Yeah.
Because we're nice that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Silent auction.
Yeah. I doubt it'll be that.
Yeah, right.
Actually, what you really need down there is Alan Huffman just to bid on everything.
Christ. Yeah.
Well, or who's the guy at CoCo Fest that always wants disk drives? Can't think of his name.
Besides David Ladd?
Eric or Jim O'Keefe? Jim O'Keefe?
Jim O'Keefe.
Right.
O'Keefe. He's always outbidding everybody for disk drives. So
yeah,
he could be here too, trying to corner the market on whatever's sitting on that table.
So that explains why I didn't get that floppy drive at CoCo Fest.
I think that his prices are a little. He's not got a lot of nibbles yet because he's got like $350 for a Model 16, not the 16B. It's kind of the cheaper Model 16. He's got like $250 for a Model 2, and they're nice machines, but that's a little steep for this kind of crowd. So I have a feeling he'll have to do some slashing on his prices. But
yeah, I mean that would work on eBay for sure. But
yeah, well, and then when I got that digital or the DVI interface today, I was like, let's make a deal. And he's like, no, I could put this on eBay and get 300 easy for it. I'm like, yeah, but you're not on eBay. You're here, so and I'm here and I have cash, so let's talk. But anyway, yeah, I mean that if that turns into an impromptu auction, I have a feeling somebody will turn on and live stream it, so you guys can
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Throw it on there. We'll see. I don't know. Might not. Depends on how eager he is to ditch the stuff and not have to put it back in his truck or van or whatever and take it home.
Very, very cool. So maybe we have something to look forward to tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll have some time. I guess we all just stay in touch on Discord and send out some feelers and messages on how the day is progressing, and we'll try to do it. So anybody who's watching this who might say, well, gosh, are you going to do it tomorrow? And do you know what time you're going to do it tomorrow? The only thing we can tell you is, if you're not already on Discord, get on Discord. It'll probably be in CoCoTALK lobby or the Tandy Assembly chat room, and either one of those will have some messages.
So it's a definite maybe for tomorrow?
Absolutely. Basically, yes, that's true.
Positively, definitely, maybe.
Yeah,
like what time?
Yeah.
I think if there's an auction tomorrow, it'll probably start at that point. Otherwise, it might be kind of a post-show wrap-up.
It's fair. Is this going to be like the course for all the shows, though? This is how long did you guys get on today and talk about stuff? 4 hours?
7 hours and 4 minutes.
So it's been 7 hours and 4 minutes so far. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys, pretty soon you're gonna have CoCo or Tandy Assembly overload or whatever.
Yeah.
No, pretty soon we'll be like CNN and just be a 24-hour channel. That's all.
Yeah, right.
It's got a whole year to recover, though.
24 hours of fake news.
That's right.
So, yeah. No, good stuff. These things only happen every so often, so it's nice to binge it while you can,
Yeah, that's true. True.
So.
Well, it's definitely worth coming. I'll tell you, I didn't hear a lot of the speakers today, but Stuart Chaffee was definitely a high point of today's discussions, and it was nice. It's always neat hearing the, he had some nice anecdotes about Steve Jobs and some nice anecdotes about Bill Gates. So it was kind of neat to hear the kind of raw, unvarnished perspective from Chaffee, and so I think that's good. And the venue is a lot better. So for those people who went, not necessarily knocking Chillicothe, but the power distribution is 1,000 times better here, and I think the venue is really nice, and the facility, the size of the facility seems to be a little bit more updated. So I think it's a good venue change. Springfield's still a relatively small town like Chillicothe, so Dayton might have been a little bit easier or whatnot, but it sounds to me like the tone is that this venue is a good place to have a third edition of this, and the only thing I think that people were looking to change was they really like the October time frame of the original one, so November's getting a little bit late in the year, and people are starting to plan on holidays. So I think the idea is to move it back to October again next year.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The second one has been successful. I think last year it was, is it going to make sense to have a second show? And everybody came out, and there was a big draw on 85 or 100 people or whatever, and so then I think the question afterwards was, well, can you do it again, or was it a one-time deal? And it looks like it was pretty well attended today. I assume it'll be reasonably attended tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a going concern. It's kind of been institutionalized.
Yeah, neat. Well, it's well organized. So
I wanted to mention something on Stuart Chaffee too, because Lee Laporte on the Triangulation show on Twit TV did an interview with him, I think just this past year too. But I should mention that I watched the ones that you guys saw there, and he was more raw on the one you guys saw this morning than he was on that show. But there's another interview with him if you want some other, information from Stuart. It was quite an interesting one there too. But he definitely wasn't quite as, open as to real feelings and stuff.
Right. I found it interesting that he tried to work with NASA and then it didn't work out and he had to leave and he felt really bad about that. And then he went to this other place and they wanted him to do a bunch of stuff he wasn't comfortable with. And so then he finally just quit and he went into academia. Typically you don't hear that kind of stuff from people who've been in luminaries in the industry kind of talking about their significant regrets, or at least they kind of candy coat them. And so
but you don't usually hear the raw, dirty laundry.
No, you don't. You don't usually. So I thought that was kind of interesting. In any event, Stuart Chaffee.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch some of those videos.
Well, next week, Mr. Brain, you should show up at our CoCoTALK because we're going to have Bill Gates.
Not yet. No. It's got. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said CoCoTALK next week. If you could come and participate, we're going to have Bill Gates on.
You are, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on getting Steve Jobs on. He'll be kind of quiet, but
What do you think is doable?
We're gonna get Bill on to finally release the ROMs so we can have the public domain CoCo emulator. So once and for all.
Would you guys have questions for him?
For Bill Gates?
I would.
Oh, really?
I would, because he said the CoCo ROMs were one of the last ROMs he actively worked on besides the Model 100 a couple of years later. So I'd like to know what exact bits he did and then critique them.
Well, did he say build it and they will come? Who said that?
Optimize for size.
That was Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, so,
okay.
It was Kevin Costner, right? Whatever.
Yep.
So, no, neat. All right, so, hey, we got to see Greg today. That was a good thing. All right, so...
natural habitat.
Got to see the back of Jason Reichert's head. That was always a good thing.
It's a little bit glaring and blinding, but yeah.
Yeah. Ken Reichert says, "Does Curtis need a Ouija board to talk to Steve?" it's on an iPad. He just rubs his finger.
There's an app for that.
I'm watching those cat playing apps where the cat chases the rat with its paws. It's kind of like that.
Oh god! All right, guys. How about
how someone would like me? I'm a nobody. How would I find a way to communicate to someone like him who is insulated from, the world? How would you, could I just have his number?
You might know somebody.
Yeah. Gosh.
You got connections. You're.
Hey, you talked to William Barton Jr. I mean, you're pretty well
you're very influential through Facebook.
We had lunch. Come on, twice.
Yeah. You got Paul T. Martin. So you got
yeah.
And Stevie just gets, stuck talking to schlups like me. So.
Oh dear God! All right, well I think we've beat this one to death. So how about we start saying goodnight to everybody? Parting thoughts, David Ladd. What are you gonna play us out with?
Well, I would just say, everybody be kind to each other.
David Ladd.
All right.
David Ladd.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was David Ladd.
I'm kind of jealous that David Ladd's the first one of us to get his own theme song.
Yeah. And
I don't know why.
David Ladd.
And Mark Overholzer, any closing thoughts, remarks, words of wisdom? Advice.
Wish it'd been nice to go to Tandy Assembly, but it sounds like it came out a lot better than I figured it might. But
that's good. That's good. But we got coverage. I'm thankful for those who brought us the coverage today. So thank you guys.
Almost as good as being there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, you're too kind, and thank you.
And L. Curtis Boyle, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom, anything else going on?
I'm sad that I wasn't able to make a Tandy Assembly either, and thanks Jim for all the offers and trying to get me there. Considering what happened earlier this week, I'm kind of really glad I didn't make it, but not because of the show. And I do look forward to working with both Jim and David on trying to get the CoCo Mem Jr. working over the next couple months when I'm not so busy with work.
Excellent, excellent. We need that. The CoCo needs more mem. It's imperative.
More software development.
Yes, Ron Delvaux, king of the internet, lord of Facebook.
When I was looking through the eyes of these guys here at all my stuff, I was seeing my stuff. Hey, yes, I got one of those. I got one of those over there. Yeah, look at that.
I was beginning to wonder, Ron, if you had to duck out to your own garage just to make sure nobody taking it down to Tandy Assembly on.
Really. It was cool to see
serial number on that board, you know.
Yeah, really. It was cool to see it. It was really, it's familiar, you know, it's all familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like walking in it would be cool, wouldn't it be, to have a Radio Shack store set up and to walk into it
with all the old stuff.
1984.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely. That's almost like a Ready Player One moment right there, you know, it's just...
have Laura Bieski come out and say, you know, I'm working in the back. Isn't that what he did?
Yeah.
He didn't sell, did he? He worked in the back.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was in sales. You know, what do you guys want? I'm working on my solder, sucker. Cool. Brian Weisler, twice in one day. And you don't have to listen to today's episodes because you lived them.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, this is my first After Dark.
Ah.
So I think we have rehabilitation programs available for you. So
yeah.
No, I had a good time and good show. Enjoyed
it. Thanks. Who have we not talked to right now? We got David Ladd. Did we get David Ladd?
Brian, get your stuff set up.
Yes, you did.
Did we get your parting thoughts?
Yes, everybody be kind to each other.
Everybody be kind to each other. We're good. So, so my parting thought is say thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yes, you're too kind, and thank you.
Yes. So, it's been a great 82 episodes. And we're not even counting the After Darks, because if we counted the After Darks, we'd got more than 82 episodes, right? So
we'd be over 100 now, wouldn't we?
Yeah. This is our 20th After Dark, so we're already over 100 episodes of this train wreck. So good times. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and thanks especially for those who took time away from the event to share the event with us. It was nice being there secondhand, you know.
Nice to be had.
Yes, and it looks like Tandy Assembly was another success, so congratulations to Myro and company for pulling that off, Mike Rowan and Peter Satinsky and Randy Kindig from the Floppy Days and Neil Blanchard. So the CoCo crew guys, the Trash Talkers, and the Floppy Days folks, good job pulling off another show, and we look forward to number 3. Hopefully I'll be able to make it there next year. Tom C. has been here in the live chat. We got more people on this live chat than is allowed with the Trump embargoes on trade. But Tom C's been here from Jersey. Super Stevie Fan 69 has been here. Jason was stopping in. Michael Brandt was here. Darth Vader was here. You don't know the power of the dark side. Jay Brevin was here. Tim Franklin. Nick Marotta was here. Arbiter was here, and there's lots of people. Tom C. Al Hartman, Weird Al from Jersey was here. Mark D. Overhoser Retro Innovations was here. Michael Brandt, I mentioned Michael Brandt. There's so many names. Chad Cunnington, Nick's neighbor was here. So Nick Marentes was here on the show earlier. So many people. Jason Reichard, Greg, Leighty, just you name it. So we had a good show. Thank you guys. We're going to play some music here. Here's the original. Here's Ron's favorite version with the busy signal and all. So we're going to a little bit of After Dark here for you.
There you go.
CoCoTALK After Dark.
Cat, thank you. You're too cat, and thank you. All right, so we're going to push the button. Yeah, Al Hartman says Jersey is representing, and certainly are. So this is the sound of me hanging up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Good
In
night,
3, 2, press the button, Frank. We're out of here.